This week on Nerds Who Get Laid Sometimes, the nerds discuss the highly anticipated Avengers Endgame trailer. They also talk a little about God of War being the game of the year for 2018, Captain Marvel's second trailer. Mike and Ray talk a little too much about ice cream, and we answer some questions from you, the listener. Guess what? There's even more than that to check out, so check it out on this episode of Nerds Who Get Laid Sometimes.
All right, welcome to another episode of Nerds Who Get Laid
Sometimes.
Ooh,
that was pretty.
Yeah, that was nice. All five of us are here.
Smooth.
We got Ray,
like
Mike,
Hey,
TJ, Charles.
Hey. Yep.
And, it's been me and Ray here for about 6 hours as we waited.
Yeah, waiting.
No, I did. I beat you here.
That is true. But then you disappeared.
And I fixed Ray's door.
For a damsel in distress. Chuck had some issues, but Mike had some more interesting issues.
Yeah. Well, turns out that the city of Gainesville loves to lock up their municipal parking lots without telling anybody. So I was enjoying a beer at Depot Park in Gainesville with a friend of mine. And I go back to my car, which was, clearly marked parking for the park. And fortunately, under the guise of safety, they were able to lock up my vehicle completely and safely. Fortunately, I needed my vehicle to get here. So I had to wait for somebody in the city to come and...
Had to wait.
Yes.
Got his big ass truck.
You got one of the highest end trucks out there. You could have ran that gate over.
Yeah.
But instead,
he has a ramming bar on the front of it.
Yeah, I've never seen a more made for the end of the world type truck, and you're scared of a little gate.
Well, number one, it's not the end of the world. It's a Sunday night and a town where they love to arrest people.
I'm just hearing some excuses over here.
God damn it! I got a podcast. I don't have time for this.
Actually, yeah. Once I said that, I got a full police escort here.
Because if you're not here, my world will end.
It's true. Because the cops were kind of like, yeah, whatever. What kind of fucking podcast are you in? And I said, Nerds Who Get Laid Sometimes. You're like, you're a part of Nerds Who Get Laid Sometimes? We all love that.
Bob EMT69 is our best friend.
He recommended it.
He actually got a call. He called in to see if I was doing okay. And if I needed any resuscitate. I told him, Bob, no.
Not right this minute.
3 times today is enough.
Yes, exactly. I mean, after that terrible toe stubbing, you were there for me and just sucked the life back into me. Bob, thank you.
I guess the moral of the story is...
The oral of the story.
Don't go to Gainesville.
That's a good moral of the story.
Yes.
They'll try and keep you there forever.
That's the moral. I want you to pay the high taxes.
Well, let's switch on over to our Nerd-Ons.
All right.
A lot of people don't think that we be nerding out the way that we claim to on this podcast. They don't understand that when we're not podcasting, we're not riding around in sports cars and watching sports radio, but we're reading comic books and watching movies based on comic books. This is the Nerd On. Oh yeah. About to get my nerd on. What you say, Jimmy Ray? Mike, TJ, and Charles?
All right. So,
God.
Yep.
We're going to kick off the Nerd-Ons and tell you how we've been keeping it real in the world of nerd. As last week, I was re-listening to the podcast, and I was actually very impressed with Ray's ability to maintain his Nerd-On within 10 minutes.
Well, thank you.
I had to listen to it to make sure that I didn't fall asleep or something like maybe nod out.
Well, it brought me to tears because it finally proved to me people can change.
Ray, that old son of a bitch.
You can't teach an old dog new tricks.
I mean, just the oldest of old. But Ray, what have you been nerding out on over there, sir?
Well, we've talked about we're going to be moving the studio upstairs into Big Brown. So
I haven't said shit about that. I don't know what the fuck.
There's just you, man.
Well, so I've been working on some of the studio stuff upstairs to get that moving along, and I know TJ's working on our new podcasting / gaming table and everything. So that took up a lot of my my time this week.
Put some stirrups on it and make it a birthing table too.
There you go. Also this weekend,
Already ahead of you.
The head, it's crowning.
we got together and did a game night and played a game that I got a little bit back, Rising Sun.
There is a place in New Orleans. Why didn't I think to play that last night?
At Nathan's table, they go.
But it is a Japanese
Feudal Japanese?
Yeah, I don't know. Sort
Would that
of.
be the correct way to describe it?
Our native Japanese expert over here, Mike, can help us out with some of this stuff.
Well, you see, it's a game taking place during the Senkoku Jidai, which means the Warring States period. And what they've done is able to really marry the myth and power and legend behind Shinto and the gods of Japan and make them a real palpable force within day-to-day internecine politics and war.
Can you guys tell that Mike won this?
I was supposed to say, Mike, how do you know so much about Japan?
Oh, well, I don't know if, anybody knew about it, but I didn't live in Japan for, my junior year of college.
Yeah.
Little known fact I don't try to mention every 5 minutes.
But so we got together and got to play. This is our first time going through it. I have the Kickstarter version of it, so a lot of the components are upgraded from what you can get from the retail version, and the little extra that I got out of it from this Kickstarter were like really, really nice.
Really worth it.
Yeah, there were some tiles that were normally just like cardboard, but they were like actual plastic tiles, and it was a lot of that. It was a lot of cardboard being traded out for plastic.
The only thing I wish other thing they would have thrown in was make the coins metal.
They offered that, but it was like an extra $20, and at the time I was like, I don't think that's worth it. Now I kind of wish I had, but there are so few coins in there.
Yeah,
so you could
it
probably
doesn't feel like $20 worth of coins.
A handful of Chinese money and just use that
in the Japanese game.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess they do have a coin with a square taken out of the middle of it. It's not normally a Japanese thing.
Okay. Well,
it's kind of like at the beginning of that Turning Japanese song, like because that's not Japanese.
A little known fact: if you check the hashtag Rising Sun on Instagram, it's mostly people playing it on their guitar. But there was
I thought it would have been like morning boners or something.
But there was some really cool painted miniatures of it.
Yeah, I haven't. So I just opened this the day we went to play, or the day before, the night before. So I haven't painted any of these, and it has a shit ton of miniatures with it.
The detail to some of those pieces.
Just the meticulous attention is just insane. How
the designs,
they're unreal. Just the. I mean, there's not much more we can say about it, but it's just so complicated and detailed.
Kaijus and monsters and guys that have dead bodies hanging from their sword hilts. It was badass. Actually,
and skulls for loincloth.
These guys Japanese are brutal. Demons and stuff.
Yeah, it's like Onis. All the classic Oni. And just their weird, twisted, ogreish appearances.
And this is a game by Lang. I can't remember his first name, but Scott Lang. Yeah. But he's also the guy that did Blood Rage, and I mean he's designed a lot of games, so he kind of knows what he's doing. It's an area control kind of game, but there's also like a lot of political stuff, and there's some like secret betting that you do to do war and everything. Yep. What'd y'all think of the actual gameplay and everything?
Oh, I enjoyed it. I was the odd man out.
Very easy.
No, I mean, I enjoyed it, but it wasn't like it didn't blow my skirt up on everything about it, but it flowed very well.
Yeah, I felt like it flowed real well.
Like if we were doing, I don't know, like a 1 out of 10, I'd probably give it a 7.
Yeah.
I would say having 6 people and with people more comfortable with the rules.
Yeah,
I feel like that
game would fly.
We could get a lot more out of it. I mean, imagine because me and TJ allied pretty much the entire game, but at any time we could have betrayed each other.
Yeah.
They have real consequences within the game. So I feel with that and, different winning strategies and a better familiarity with the rules, I think we might bump it up a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. I think about from Scythe, like from the first time we played that, and there was an automatic
spoiled.
It could be. I mean, like we played a better.
That was one of our first real board game experiences.
Serious board game.
And personally,
and it was a hell of one to start off with.
Yeah. So. I feel like Scythe's
it's the measuring stick for us right now.
Scythe just works so well, like all the little pieces and everything. There's real attention to detail there, and it goes beyond just really cool looking figures.
Yeah.
But the partnering of the art. With Jacob Rozalski, I think Scythe has a bit more going for it than your standard Kickstarter game. Not saying Rising Sun's a standard Kickstarter game. I enjoyed it a lot.
It's by Simon, which is a huge board gaming,
and the board was gorgeous.
Yes. Yeah, the artwork on the board's really good.
Gorgeous artwork on it.
I guess I'm just thinking mechanics. Overall, like
I think if we were a bit more dastardly, if we betrayed more, the mechanics would have shown. And we only had one triple fight.
Yeah,
so I think
we did have a lot of crossing and borders. Yeah, they're because you definitely
the first season.
No one was very aggressive in the gameplay.
I feel like if we were to play aggressively, then they would get very complicated.
I agree. I see where you're coming from, and I think it's definitely a game I'd play again in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Me too. I would say let's definitely give it a second chance at least.
Yeah. I think after knowing the rules a little bit more,
it'll go by faster.
It'll go by faster, but I think we'll be more.
It is a very smooth operating game.
Yeah. And we felt very comfortable where we were at. So like they said, TJ and Mike were allied the whole game, but also me and Nathan were, which left Chuck being the odd man out.
Yeah.
But once we
did
figured
pretty well
stuff,
for myself.
You did very well for yourself not having an ally. But once we figured out the rules a little bit more, because there's only three seasons in the whole game, so there's like 3 rounds that you play through, and those are the 3 chances you get to align with people. The first round, we didn't know even what we were doing. Yeah. So second round, it's like, okay, well, let's try this again. And then by the third round, it was like, well, this worked this far, so let's just keep it rolling. But now we know how everything works and all, so I think a lot of that would change up. Because everyone played it real safe. They go by season, so you have spring, summer, autumn, and then winter is your scoring season where you find out who won. But the spring season for us was very mild.
Yeah, so it was more of a Scythe kind of strategies that we were running in that first season.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see what happens playing that one again. I would definitely like to get it to the table again.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this week, our favorite ice cream shop over in Gainesville, we like to go over there. They have their different flavor nights, and today was Christmas flavor night, and Mike also went over there.
I did.
I got 6 different ones because they give you mini scoops. This week they had, or for this event, they had 17 different ice creams, and you can get 2. I think it's 2, 4, 6, or 8 or 12, maybe something. They break it down, and then they give you little mini scoops of everything. I got 6, and I tried the eggnog.
Yeah.
Pecan pie, baklava, mincemeat, brandy and pear, and a cranberry champagne sorbet. So those were
that sounds good.
It was arguably one of the best.
No, it was
not the best.
Delicious. It was so refreshing.
What about the pear brandy?
The pear brandy was fine. It was very mild. It didn't have as much brandy as I would want it to. Mike, did you have that one?
Yeah, I ended up going a little further than Ray and got a 12 scoop sample. which
I
was
Which means he
Yeah.
didn't eat 5 of them.
It was so no, I ate it all. And
No. There were only 17, so you got all but 5.
I pretty much skipped anything that had candy cane or peppermint.
Yeah,
in
me
it.
too.
Oh.
I don't like
Fuck
that.
you guys.
No, thank you.
Peppermint and chocolate is like best.
Oh, see, that's my
No.
least
See,
favorite
well, you're a junior
combination.
mint person, so
I do love
But like
junior mints.
I did the
Junior
rum
mints are
cake,
good.
which is rum ice cream with pieces of cake
Ooh.
and candy cherries. Awesome.
Pass.
Apple pie, which
I
is just,
did think about the apple pie one. That was on my list of maybes.
I did the reindeer track, which is pretty much vanilla ice cream with peanut butter cups and chocolate swirl.
It sounds a lot like Moose Tracks.
While good, it was not standout. It was not a standout.
No.
Let me see. I did the pistachio stracciatella with cherries. So pretty much it was like a pistachio ice cream with dark sweet cherries. Man, it was so good.
That one sounded like it would
Sounds
be
beautiful.
pretty okay.
Every time one of these things goes on, Katie and I want to go, but something has come up where we can't go.
Usually just too lazy to go eat a ton of ice cream. So I don't want to drive back with the lactose intolerant shit, playing race with the devil, trying to get home.
No, it's more like we either have to go get the kids or some craziness is going
It's
on.
happening, yeah.
And we can't. So
Well, I recommend it. I'm going to try to make it more often as well. But
Is this your first one?
This is my first one.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
And I did the mincemeat as well,
Yeah.
which is apples and spices.
That one was the first one I tried, and it just sort of had a like Christmassy spice vibe to it to me.
Mhm.
And it was any of the ones that I had that weren't like the best, they were still good. So that one was still good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. The milk and cookie, which is really just milk and Italian cookies. Pear brandy, Santa's Little Helper, which is scotch and bourbon.
How was that one?
Really good.
Was that okay?
Yeah, the flavor's really strong. It actually kind of got hard to tell which one was which after a while.
It
because
always does, yeah.
They just give you it was like a to-go box cut in half with just 12 scoops of ice cream in it.
And so you have no idea, like you know that the ones that you picked out are on there somewhere.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like ice cream roulette.
And he didn't do it in order because they kind of just moved it around a little bit. But to kind of wrap it up, that one was great. Sugar cookies, which is just sugar cookie, awesome. Tasted great. Pecan pie was fucking amazing.
Pecan pie, I think, was probably my favorite because it had like a swirl of the filling that's in it, not the pecans, but the
I know
filling.
what you mean. Yeah.
That
gelatin of
yes,
Mhm.
and
sugar.
but it had just delicious pecans in it too that were like, I don't know, caramelized or something.
I would say they were
Kinda like
probably
pralines.
caramelized. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're close to pralines, but not as thick of a sugary crust.
And did you have the baklava one?
I had the baklava, and then what was the other one?
How did they pull that one off, if you don't mind me
They
asking?
just put baklava in it.
It's
Is
just
it a
pieces
honey
of
ice cream?
baklava.
I don't remember if it was a honey ice cream or not. But there's just
Honey-based ice cream with chunks of homemade baklava.
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you, Mike Frank's mom.
Yeah.
And then of course the poinsettia sorbet, which was just the cranberry champagne.
That one and the pecan pie were my tops, but baklava was very, very close. So that was really
I ended
good.
up using the sorbet as like a palate cleanser. And it was awesome. I would definitely go back for it.
Yeah. And the Christmas one is honestly my least favorite out of all the flavor
Because
nights
normally they have like peanut butter insanity stuff, curry, just crazy flavors. So
corn, rice.
Yeah, so these were very tame flavors.
Yeah,
but I enjoyed them.
Peanut butter curry before.
That one was delicious.
That was very good.
Yeah, I took Chuck to have that one at one time. So it was just a very unique flavor.
Jack, Jim, and Johnny.
Yeah.
It was really
I had
good
that.
too.
That and the mine chocolate the only time I went.
Yeah. Well, and me and Allison have been watching more Last Man on Earth, and that's about it for me.
Well, I'll take it from here, guys.
Go ahead.
Of course, I'm still playing Red Dead 2. That game will never fucking end. Me and Nathan were talking about the joys of trying to talk to somebody and accidentally drawing your pistol at them.
When you draw your pistol, do you just shoot them, or do you just draw it and it scares
You
them?
basically just brandish the weapon, and they're like, "Whoa, hey, partner!"
Calm down.
And there's some people you approach and be like, "Hey, come on, sit by the fire." And some people are like, "Get the hell out of here," and point a gun at you.
Oh wow.
So just kind of dealing with that. My opinion hasn't changed. I'm not going to talk about it much. The game continues to just blow me away. not as strong as Bobby MT69, but it does blow me away. I finished Eaters of the Dead.
Nice.
It ended up more similar to the movie than I thought it would be, but overall still a great read. From beginning to end, and it's a real short book. It's only like 5-6 hours, which sounds like a lot, but that's not a long book at all. So it's really easy to kind of just tear through it. Let me see what else we did. Oh, one thing I did enjoy is I finally got around to starting the season 7 of the Venture Brothers.
I haven't thought
Never
about
watched
the Venture Brothers. I've watched it hit or miss like over the years.
It's funny because for those of you who don't know, it's a hand animated show. Well, maybe not so much anymore, but it's a riff off of the Johnny Quest cartoons from the 60s. Mm-hmm. So it's a adventuring family, but in all actuality, what it really is the main guy, Rusty Venture, his dad was more like the Johnny Quest era, and he is just kind of lame and balding and ended up being a scientist instead of an adventurer. And it's him with his kids and his bodyguard, which is voiced by Patrick Warburton. And it's one of the most original, funny shows I've ever watched. The characters are just so funny. They're well written. The only like 2 or 3 guys do it, and there's some real passion behind it. And unfortunately, because of that, it does take a while for them to get it, to kind of get the episodes out. And I'm referring to Jackson Public and Doc Hammer, which are some freaking pretty badass names. But the show is just like 60s cartoon machismo mixed with today's tropes and memes, and memes are a strong word. It's a little classier than that.
Been around.
Yeah, just modern mentality. And the show has been around for, almost 10 years.
Because it makes me think of, was it C-Lab?
C-Lab 2021 was
a great one.
Yeah, and one of my favorite characters, which I love that they've kept him around, is named Dr. Orpheus. And he's pretty much a Doctor Strange ripoff. But he rented out part of the science lab to live in at one point, and he also has a group. God, what do they call it? I forget. But one of them is a blaxploitation vampire hunter who only hunts Blackulas. And it's just crazy shit like that. Like the 2 kids, the Venture brothers, Rusty Venture's kids, Dean and Hank. They're just stupid. And they're just great. Like they refer to vampires as Draculas. It's just little shit like that. It's so many small things to really come out and say it. But I recommend the show to anybody. For me, I put it on the level of I would say like Arrested Development and those. I feel it's just a really well done cartoon show. And just seeing it again, because years can go by between seasons.
Yeah.
So I'm just excited to have it back. It's so fucking cool. So I did do Sweet Dreams today, which we talked about.
Yup. You want to go in a little more detail on that?
I don't know.
I think we're
Let me talk to you about the flavors I didn't choose. That's about it for me, Chuckles. How's your week been?
How's your week before today?
For today, man.
Still pretty
Still a long week. Pretty much all that's
Only
for
found
me.
5 hookers this week. My ditch is flooded from all the rain.
It has rained a lot, but finally finished Sabrina Teenage Witch. Sorry, my bad.
Chilling Tales of
Chilling
Sabrina.
Adventures of Sabrina.
Yeah, whatever.
I know.
We know what you're talking about. We don't care
I'm
if those
sorry, I'm
fucks
just
out there listening to
I'm
it.
kind of out of it right now.
What'd you think?
She turned into a little bitch towards the end.
No,
She does believe in Satan.
She did. She
You
turned
mean
into
witch, Chuck?
Okay, the witch turned into a little
She
bitch
becomes
towards the end.
kind of a very strong-headed, she's trying to break against the mold.
Yeah.
And I could, because I didn't necessarily like her when she was doing that. I get why they were making her do that. It made sense. But she wasn't necessarily likable while it was happening.
Yeah.
And she honestly wasn't super likable from the beginning.
No,
she's a likable ish.
I feel I feel she was choosing to do stuff that goes against the code more for the sake that she just didn't want to go with it.
Yeah.
Than really strong reason.
Teenage rebellion.
But she was also
she's a 16-year-old girl. You're not going to like her because 16-year-old girls are unlikable.
No, because she was being pushed in that direction.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
she
they really are.
She was raging against the machine. I mean, she was,
No, you're saying TJ, but no, what is it, Wentworth or whatever the fuck her name was actually she was pushing Sabrina along that direction
and
for her own gain.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, but I can understand why I didn't necessarily absolutely hate her, but there was parts where I was like, I whatever, like the whole thing with what's her boyfriend's name, her brother,
who can care?
And all the the spells, like the black magic she was going into.
Because it was definitely stuff that you're like, you fucking know, know fucking better. Why are you going to do this?
She made some decisions that were very selfish, but I think that makes her a better character long term.
Yeah, like you're seeing her faults already.
Exactly,
but
and you'll get to see somewhat of a redemption in the next season, probably, like where she has to deal with her consequences. So, like Nathan said, this
hey man,
it's a better.
I'm just gearing up and ramping up for the holiday episode.
I know
coming
it comes
out
this week, 14th.
Yeah, man,
Friday.
Yeah,
I'm excited about that.
But so if you haven't seen it yet, I would suggest it. Nathan has raved about it. He's enjoyed it also.
Chuck's a pretty big horror fan. Chuck and Mike are big horror fans. Right. And Chuck definitely, we were talking last week after the podcast outside, and he was like, some of that stuff creeped me out a little bit.
Oh, dude.
So it's like, even
it was enjoyable.
It's cheesy at points. It's very high schooly at points, but it has its moments where it's very horror-esque. So,
and continuing on with the horror aspect, I saw on Netflix a movie that came out this year, and I was like, you know what, I'll give this a chance. A Wrinkle in Time.
Yeah, I saw you tell me that, and I just ignored that fucking message.
No, honestly, I actually enjoyed it.
I would probably watch it,
but I have no connection to it like you do, because you said it was one of your favorite books as a kid growing up. See, none of that mattered to me because I had no idea,
and I
no connection
haven't read it since, God, probably I was a teenager or something.
I mean, the story is kind of little meh. Yeah. But I mean,
does it deserve the hate that it got? Like, I don't know about
the
hate.
CGI wasn't bad.
Everyone thought it was meh, but
it should not have been such a huge fucking disaster.
Okay.
But I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean, the story was okay.
Is this going to be another fucking Dark Tower that I watch? And I'm like, Chuck, you
now you have to watch it just to argue him.
That's
but like
true.
I said, like I don't have a connection to the source material on this.
You still got to watch Castle Rock and prove them wrong.
Yeah, fucker. But no,
I'm never gonna watch Castle Rock.
I mean, the kids are the main actors. Pretty much, kid looking for her dad.
Yeah.
There's an evil force and they say they win the day. I mean,
clown with balloons.
No, I was hoping, but no, Disney didn't go that route. But no, the CGI didn't look bad. I think it would have been better if this would have been a Netflix
original
movie,
or something like that.
Like if Netflix would have had it on their streaming service,
of being a giant
it wouldn't
Disney
have been
film.
as bad.
Yeah. Everyone was expecting too much. Not too much. It's fucking Disney. It should have delivered. So
I think it was just.
I might check it
Wrinkle
out.
in Time
I still
more
like
Disney
it.
they
Allison
expected, and it didn't happen.
How was Mindy Kaling in it? Because Allison
she's
loves
not in
Mindy.
it often. She's not
well,
in it
that
long.
sucks. Okay, is Oprah in it a lot?
No.
Oh, good. Thank God.
No, it's the
kids, mostly the kids.
Which
I don't know. That movie looked like
Whatnot
shit.
and something else.
Yeah.
There you go. It was enjoyable.
It's a great book. But
I doubt that as well.
No, it really is. It especially for like someone like Marshall's age or a little bit older, because it's very like sci-fi and fantasy-y.
Yeah,
but for kids.
We hate those
but
things
it
in our
also
house.
gets
You hate
deep.
what?
I hate all those things.
Well, fine. But looked up on Wikipedia just a little bit, and it gets like into religion and philosophy also. Some really
there's a lot
deep
of
shit
philosophical
for a kid's
stuff in
book.
there. Yeah, but it's not stuff that's like I don't feel like it's pushed in you.
No, but it's like you can from what I was just a little bit of reading, it's it covers a lot of stuff.
How many cars were given away during the movie when Oprah was in?
Yeah.
Like, did she come in? And
oh my god, this is my favorite thing.
Did she shoot
no,
cars?
It was planets because they were on Earth and they were on another one, then another.
Okay, so
look
spaceship.
under your planet. She's giving you planet.
You get a spaceship and you get a spaceship.
Yeah.
That's some intergalactic taxes they're going to have to pay. Sorry.
But to round it out, also went by one of our local GameStops earlier this week, and I picked up the Gamerverse Spider-Man figure from the Sony Spider-Man game.
Ooh,
the nice. What one?
The Marvel Legends Spider-Man figure.
Spider-Man figure. Oh, okay,
yeah,
cool.
I hadn't seen it in a while, so it was like I was in there. I think it was Wednesday, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna grab it.
The new suit,
the white
spider,
suit.
The white spider on it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I was like, cool. I'm gonna treat myself, and now I'm like, fuck, maybe I shouldn't have treated myself.
I don't know. I don't
think that $20 is gonna affect that fucking truck.
You're not going to be
going
sitting
towards it.
You're not going to be sitting at the dealership buying your new vehicle, and they're going to be like, "Oh, you're short $20."
You never know, man.
You're gonna look over at Nathan, and he's just gonna shrug at you.
Nathan's gonna
He'll spot you that 20, man. Don't even think about it.
But I owe him 70 for it.
Nathan's like, hold on. What if we were to trade you 200 wrestling DVDs?
Over to you. Yeah. Well, I think it's more like we're going to drive by and we're going to see Chuck out the back of the mechanic shop, like looking around, passing Marvel Legends, and it's like, yeah, I'll take that one.
But other than that, just had a good time last night. Like Ray was talking about, we had a game night over at Nathan's house, Rising Sun.
Yeah.
The conversations as we were doing our breaks also, I enjoyed that a lot because just talking about movies, stuff like that. Found out TJ really loves Billy Madison.
Yeah. Ooh, gross.
And
Billy
TJ
Madison is amazing.
had also told me that a cult classic was now on Netflix, and I started that today again. And Jesus Christ, man, it's so oh god. It's been years.
When you started talking about
years since I had seen it, and oh my god!
Let's mention the movie.
Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon.
There we go.
Yes.
Oh, I have that movie on DVD.
You should have that.
Somebody bought that for me when they
I've
realized.
never even heard of this movie.
What? Dude, it's on Netflix. Watch it tonight.
I know, but I have never heard of this. And all of y'all are just going on
I
and
didn't
on.
hear about it either until my sister watched the heck out of it, but I had just never seen it before. So I knew about the movie and Bruce Leroy, but that's really it.
And show enough.
Kiss my Converse.
Monamita. Mighty bad.
Who's the master?
Maybe I'll be able to talk Allison into watching it as one of our Christmas movies.
My two fighting movies from my childhood were Only the Strong,
Yes.
which is where the guy teaches all the inner city kids capoeira.
Mark Dacascos.
Yeah, and then my second one was I can't remember the name of the movie.
Sidekicks.
No, it wasn't Sidekicks. Although I love Sidekicks.
What is it?
No, it was a movie where this kid goes to school and gets he gets bullied. He's not even a nerd. Like, he's in good shape, but
Wait. Was this a home video of Nathan's life?
No.
Sidekicks.
Well, actually, what happens is the kid gets in a scuffle, and the fucking janitor comes and whoops everyone's ass, and it's fucking Billy Blanks. And he teaches the kid karate, and he just starts whooping ass on all his bullies.
I know which one you're talking about.
I want to say
feel like
Only
I
the
remember-
Strong, but that's not the name of the movie.
But I really thought you were going with Karate Kid there for a second.
Oh, no, that would be kind of
Because
funny.
it sounds exactly like Karate Kid.
Yeah. Only that the janitor's Billy Blanks.
No, because it was like a mid-90s.
That's when it veered off.
Yeah, he's like, wait, he's not a little Japanese dude. He's a strapping black man.
He's not the bartender from fucking Happy Days.
Oh, I wish.
Man.
Right now, probably we're gonna have to figure out what the fuck.
What was the guy's name? Billy Black?
Billy Blanks.
Blanks.
And also,
that guy's dropped off the map.
yeah, after Tebow.
Yeah,
But
Tybo, not
Tebow, whatever.
after Florida Gators quarterback.
Sorry, seeing that motherfucker kneel. Sorry, Billy Blanks, you're out of here.
But still going through the Talisman, and it's got me hooked now. So if you're looking for a new book to read, I would suggest the Talisman.
Okay, I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it. I was
That's
worried because you were kind of.
I was like, I don't know yet, but I've just got introduced to Wolf, and Yeah, I'm digging it now.
That Jack Nicholson movie? No.
I've never seen that one either.
Google
that
one
was
thing
a
I never
terrible
thought I
movie.
would Google.
All right,
Billy
it's
Blank's
It's really good.
movies.
James Spader. Yeah.
I watched Wolf back in the day. As a kid, I was very disappointed because I love Jack Nicholson.
I guess it's a
No, I thought it was pretty good. But I was a little older.
Yeah, you're older.
TJ.
All right. So, what I did this week was I did a lot, man. I feel very proud of my nerd ons this week. So I watched Mandy, the Nick Cage movie.
Movie's called Showdown, by the way.
Shit.
Oh,
Showdown.
okay.
Nick
So-
Cage. This is like one of the first fucking arguments that I think we had on our chat between all of us was how much I fucking hate Nick Cage movies and how much Nathan loves them.
Let me clarify that because
wait a second.
No. Give me a second. I do love. There are some Nick Cage movies I absolutely
There are
love.
some fantastic Nick Cage movies.
Con Air, Face
So
Off,
pissed you watch Mandy without me.
National
Office.
Treasure. Those National Treasure wasn't that bad of a movie.
The first one wasn't. It was actually good.
I don't think I watched any after that one, but Nick
Racing
Cage,
Arizona is Nicolas Cage's best movie.
Nick Cage nowadays, that dude does so many craft movies because all the tax issues he's had. He'll do anything. So Mandy was really a surprise movie because I would have probably ignored it till we watched the trailer and it looked amazing. It's a horror thriller type movie.
Fuck! This is the one with him having like the chainsaw.
Yes.
Oh fuck! I didn't know that's what this was.
Yes, Ray.
You didn't see the
tell me
clip?
about it.
So, because I
No
thought it's
spoilers,
I did not
please.
know this. Mandy was the first movie made by the entertainment company that I see on Facebook all the time. That's fan owned, the Legion M.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you guys see that all the time.
Yeah.
Is it they like people?
I've
just,
not seen that.
So it's on. I see it a lot on Facebook. Like the ads.
Doesn't there?
Because you spend money, you can pay $100 to thousands of dollars, and you buy into this entertainment company, and you become, like a mini owner. Like it's pretty much crowdfunding movies, and the movies they've made have actually, I think they only made 3 movies, but all of them
What was
were
the company's name again?
Legion M.
Yeah. Doesn't their logo sort of look like the Monsters Inc. thing? Something like that. It's got an eyeball
to
and
me,
an
it
M.
looks more like that. What is it? The people that do the mashup of superheroes fighting each other, Batman or some, but is it?
I know what I know.
Yeah.
But it has a red M. It's a
Yeah.
M. Anyway, I thought that was pretty interesting because I had been seeing that preview or the ads all the time, and I was like, that just seems like the stupidest idea. They're not going to do anything cool. Well, fuck me, I was wrong because Mandy is badass. It is almost to the level of an art house film, where it's definitely they're not working on formulas of like a modern movie where they're not pushing a story. They let scenes breathe. There's a lot of
Is this like one of those movies that's like really good because it's kind of bad and ridiculous, or it's actually a good movie? Because that was,
I understand your question.
because that's what the trailer kind of gave.
It's
it,
not
like,
a bad movie. Like it's not so bad it's good. The acting's very well done. Nick Cage is really good because to me, why I like Nick Cage is he can play fucking crazy. And because I think he actually is crazy. He's not acting; he's just being himself. But
they're like, okay, and on this scene, we want you to, if you can just be Nick Cage and action.
So the quick premise, because it's not a very difficult story to follow along, is Nick
The trailer
Cage.
was
Nick Cage is essentially a lumberjack.
Okay.
He lives with his girlfriend, wife, in the middle of the woods. She's like, she does badass artwork, like heavy metal looking shit.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of hang out. They're camping. They just kind of seem like they really live amongst the woods. And Mandy one day is walking down a dirt road, and this van comes by, and it's full of this cult. The cult leaders, and he's in the passenger seat. There's a bunch of people in the van. They drive by, and they kind of lock eyes, and he's automatically drawn to her.
Mm-hmm.
And so he decides that, hey, I want her. Like, she needs to be with me. So, and because up till then the movie is pretty straightforward, and after he tells one of his cronies, he's like, I want you to go get her. You think, okay, the crony's going to go get her. No, he hands her this rock with all these holes, and the guy goes out in the middle of the woods and blows this horn, and these fucking almost Mad Max looking monsters come up on like dirt bikes and 4-wheelers, and they give them a vial of blood like to appease them, and they go and they get Mandy. And essentially they Nick Cage, and this is all stuff. This is no real spoilers. This is all the premise of what the movie is. They show up, things happen. Mandy is killed, and Nick Cage becomes a revenge movie. It's him trying to go back and take out these guys, and from there on, the movie just goes fucking crazy.
Sounds crazy to begin with, and it's going to get even crazier.
It doesn't sound like it goes crazy. It sounds like it starts crazy.
It's I guess it's pretty slow up to that point. It's good acting. It's they use a lot of really cool like lighting effects and like these. Like that's where I guess where I say it's like it has an art house film. Because there's the way they shot
cheap.
It's not really cheap. It's more they shot it in a very 70s. It has a grainy, that.
I was thinking like cheap on purpose look to it, though.
Well, it's more almost like,
but also well done on the cheap.
It's like an 80s heavy. It's like a heavy metal cartoon come to life. Is exactly what it is.
Okay,
like it has
like heavy metal, like actual heavy metal.
The movie because it has essentially kind of 3 chapters, and each chapter comes in with a font, and the font that comes up, each one looks more and more like a metal band, and it's so weird and cool, and it goes insane from there. Like I was pretty much on the edge of my seat. It was so crazy. I kept just like taking like little snaps of it and sending it to like Mike and some people because I was like, this fucking movie's crazy. And each scene proceeded to blow my mind more than the scene before of the amount of insanity that was going on.
For some reason, I can't remember. I thought you kept talking about it, and I thought this was the Arnold Schwarzenegger film that came out a couple of years ago where he would like lived on a farm. Okay, that's why. Okay, yeah. So I was like, man. I mean, that looked fine. I would probably watch that, but I don't know why he keeps going on and on about it.
This movie lived up to the hype of what the trailer laid out for me personally. I very much enjoyed it.
Where did you watch it at?
Amazon. I rented it.
Okay.
So you can rent it on there. Actually, what's sad is someone, not the brag, but the guitar player for Every Time I Die bought me the movie as a gift when I did the artwork for him. He's like, you need to watch this movie. And I've had it, and I kept putting off, and like, but I have it on my iPad. I don't have an Apple TV, so I was like, you know what, I really want to watch it, so I just fucking rented it because I was gonna watch it. That's all shinfo. So like, I felt bad. I just now watched it, but I'm glad.
Did you let him know?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, good. Because you got to keep that friendship up.
Oh yeah. That's actually another part of my nerd. I went and saw Every Time I Die this week. And they were great. It's a concert.
Still just as good as they used to be.
It was one of the crazier shows I've been to in my life. It was sold out in Jacksonville. For the invite. Yeah, I did not. I invited Bradford to ride because kind of owed it back to him for tickets he bought for me a while back, and I had free tickets, so I didn't invite him. It was a sold out show. Sorry, guys. I got in for free because I know someone. But that was actually cool. After the show, like I got to actually BS with him, and it was a really cool experience. I enjoyed it a lot.
Like a lot of fun.
It was.
Since you did the artwork for him, is this the first time you've seen them since then?
It was the first time I had seen him in like 10 years.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I haven't, I'm pretty sure it's been 10 years. Okay. So it's been a long. It's first time I've been to a concert and like a concert to that level.
We're getting old.
Yeah, like I was in the middle of like the pit and all the stuff's going crazy. And I was like, I'm just too old for this now.
Yeah.
I might sprain something.
Every Time I Die is one of the few from back in that day when I used to go to shows that I would like. I'd probably still go see.
They're 20 years now, and their new album.
Damn.
They just released a new album this year, and it's fantastic. And so I have to hand it to the guys. They're one of the few bands that have had the longevity from that scene at that time, and they've evolved and kind of maintained.
Well, and Hot Damn for me was like a huge album when it came out.
Yeah. So. Oh yeah. I finally watched Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Yep.
And I'll just confirm what you guys said. It was a great Western.
Yes.
Coen Brothers knocked it out of the park. I loved it.
And like we said before, it's just a lot of different stories, and each one of those different stories is so good in its own right.
It's a tragedy. You just need to go into this movie knowing that it's a modern comedy tragedy. Every story is essentially a tragedy.
Were you here when we talked about that? So did you know it was separate? Okay. Yeah. Because I kind of feel bad because I feel like that was sort of a spoiler because
if you watch the trailer, like I think they tried. They're like they mention everyone has a different story. I don't think they lay it out like in layman's terms, like, hey, this is going to be multiple stories, but they're trying to tell you that these are...
Because the first story to me was a complete surprise.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what the fuck? And then the rest of it comes out. I'm like, oh, this is what we're doing here.
Yes. So. And then last, off of Mike's just constant great suggestions, I started Preacher today. I watched the pilot and I think 2 other episodes, and the show's badass, man.
What are you watching it on?
It's the first 2 seasons are on
Television.
Hulu.
Okay.
Oh, is it? I bought the first season.
Yeah, both seasons are on Hulu. Season 3 is not on there, so I'm like, I need to watch this a little slowly. So hopefully 3, because it's finished. If I remember what Mike said.
Yeah, it finished a few months back. I think that's a summer show.
But
yeah, I think you're right.
I was literally watching this show, and I'm going, they'll show this on cable, but they can't show a pair of titties because it's fucking violent.
Well, like the very beginning of it is just preachers exploding and big.
I love Tom Cruise explodes.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Because the quick this is, and I think I know what it is. Mike can confirm or not, but there's this entity that's flying through space, and it comes in, and it seems like it's going to religious figures across the world, and it goes inside of them, and each person just explodes. And is that the Jesus power, the Judas power you were speaking of? Because it eventually ends up in Preacher, the main character.
So the
I don't remember that whole
so there's
part.
a power called
That's in the first
Genesis.
Genesis, that's what
Genesis, and it's a power of it's an offspring of a coupling of an angel and a demon. So it has supreme power to pretty much, if you have the power, you can tell anybody to do anything, anything, and they will do it.
Did you ever read Preacher, or is this your
I've
first?
never read.
This is your
I've
first
always
thing
wanted
into
to.
I
Preacher?
read a few comics back in the day. I don't remember my buddy Josh had a few issues, and I remember reading them. And so when I heard a show was coming out, I was like, "That's gonna be pretty crazy." And goddamn, is it pretty fucking
but
crazy?
It's like I think from I remember the first, it goes to like this African preacher, like in the middle of Africa, and like this in this little like hovel where he's preaching, and it goes into him, and he's like, "Oh, it's amazing," and then he just fucking explodes, and then you see this news report of Tom Cruise exploding at the Scientology
because then it went to Russia to like a Satanist like church and exploded one of their high priests, and so I was like, oh, it must be going to like all these religious figures trying to find the host to hold it. And it finally goes to the main character. So if you've never watched Preacher, which I haven't, I am on the train with Mike. It was phenomenal. And there's a fucking vampire. Like the little
Cassidy is amazing.
He's so good.
I love Cassidy. He's by far my favorite character. And on top of that, he's like this like horrible drug addict.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that Jackie Earle Haley's in it. And he plays such a great character.
Who does he play?
He plays the head of this like giant meat farm that runs the entire town.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I haven't met his character yet.
Really, I thought it was pretty early on, but it's Rorschach.
I've only done 2.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. He was in it, but I thought that was him, but like he was just a real quick little scene where he's buying a house and they bulldoze it. That's all I've seen of him so far. Yeah, but I thought that was him, but it was so quick I wasn't sure because he's shaved head and glasses.
Yeah, you'll get some closer because
I'm really excited
even
for
season
that.
1 gets fucking just like there's some scenes where I'm like, holy shit! Like,
I'm telling you because like there's this giant chainsaw fight between Cassidy and these. I'm thinking of two angels or something.
Yeah.
And I'm just watching this and literally I'm going, this is on cable, but if you show a nipple, people freak out because it's a guy getting his hand or his arm chainsawed off, blood's going everywhere.
And
well, hell, the first time you meet Cassie, he jumps out of a fucking plane and just lands in a big
explodes.
That fight in the airplane was cracking me up just because like he goes and takes a shit and he finds a Bible and so he automatically kind of knows what's going on, and out of nowhere these guys are pulling fucking broadswords and a spear out and an axe. I'm like, why are all these fucking instruments on an airplane, a private airplane, and they're trying to fight him because they're holy, I guess, Avengers fighting vampires.
The Holy Avengers?
Yeah, the Holy Avengers.
Yeah, so he's just sitting there just splattered. All that's left of him is his head. And he's like, "Oh, I'm fucked now," And this little cow comes over, like, "Hey, come
give me
over.
a kiss.
Yeah.
Give me a kiss." God, it's a great show. Please, everybody, watch it, including you guys in the room. Go on Hulu, hit play, and let's watch it together. And Mike can just sit back and cross his arms and, like a proud dad.
Yeah, and just as a trigger warning, if you're really into Christianity, you might need a slight open mind for some of the things that happen, which you've heard my in-depth description of season 3. So,
I just met the Cowboy, so I'm very excited. That's it for me.
Oh, I love him.
TJ.
Not a lot on here this week, guys.
All right,
been working on the table for the group. So that's
looks like it's looking great.
Yes.
We won't know if it's a piece of shit though until we see it in person.
Yeah. Had to.
It's a 1/6.
We have to.
That would be the worst.
That would be the worst. We have to.
That would be the most hilarious thing that's ever happened to me.
We have to start over on the paint job though.
Real quick, this just makes me laugh because I remember reading a story about this lady. She was talking about when eBay first came out, and they wanted to buy a couch for their house, and she found this couch for $80. It was beautiful, Victorian. And she's like, "How is this only $80?" And they bought it. And then, like, a couple days later, this little box showed up, and it was a 1/6 Victorian couch.
$80 couch. She's like, what a ripoff!
Because it
was artisan hand. I mean, it was really nice. And this is also fucking eBay, like what
the beginning of eBay, 1999 or something.
The wild west of that was eBay.
That just makes me think of that's what TJ's doing.
That is a steal for a Victorian 1/6 couch now.
Yeah.
Finally, my Sherlock Holmes studio. It's complete.
TJ's been in the market and he just can't find one for under 200.
He's like, you just pissed him off about that story, really.
Mike was good enough to do a trade with me this week for some figures.
Well, I feel like I kind of came out on top on that one.
It
did in a way, but it's kind of I've trying to change my focus on my
I appeal
1/6
to
collection.
your addiction.
Yeah. And I got the Finn and Riot Trooper 2-pack from him from Force Awakens. Man, I went posing them tonight a little bit before I came in. I'm like,
great figures, man.
I'm happy with this. I gotta tear the fat suit out of the Riot Trooper. But yeah, otherwise it's fun.
Wish I could tear the fat suit out of me.
Well, let him stay fat, man.
It's
good to see someone else.
Too bulky?
He can't pose.
What neither can we?
Yeah, it's all the joint, all
you
the
just
stuffing.
put him like bent over, like he's out of breath.
So like trying to bend the arm to get it into pose, it's gonna
arms are fine. It's the knees and the waist.
Well, when you're a big guy, those are the first to go.
True.
What did you trade for him? What did Mike get out of
He
this?
got the Crow and Jack Burton.
Those are
Sideshow
perfect.
Jack Burton.
Yes, the Sideshow Jack Burton, because while Marvel is my main focus, the MCU specifically, which is such a weird focus for me, but I just love the hell out of the figures. I like just a lot of stuff from my childhood and movies specifically. So like Terminator, The Crow, Big Trouble in Little China, those are just
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, it's like looking up and just seeing like a palpable, tangible snapshot of your childhood, and it's so fucking cool.
I like that.
I just look in my closet and just look at all those boxes, like so beautiful.
They're coming out eventually.
When I heard that the Riot Trooper was unopened, like it was unopened box, I was like, God damn it, Mike! That was like one of the coolest sets. I thought I was like, I would have been on my belly on the floor, like. Just
well, you know, I had this idea that I was only going to stay at my folks for like 6 months to a year, and then I would have everything out and about, you know. But then like the apartment fell through, and I decided just to be 30 and living on my folks. But since then, I just haven't had a space to display them. But I still love collecting them. Just like my
there's
Pogs.
An open invitation when we get the new studio. If you want,
I'll be bringing some stuff over to put up.
Yep, that'd be cool. Unless this becomes like the money pit and like the house rips apart. No,
that's when we take videos and we have insurance claims. Yeah.
Hey, it's really funny that you took out $1 million for these action figures right before Big Brown Ocean Nightmare Town broke apart.
And then the other thing I've been doing this week is I've been playing the hell out of Skyrim.
Really?
It's a great game, man.
I just can't get enough of it.
My brother, I don't even remember what the fuck it was. It was like a early one, an Xbox one or something.
Probably Morrowind.
It was. That was the one. And he played that one all the time, and I just never got into it. And so I've never really jumped into the Skyrim stuff.
Like Magic Fallout.
I actually played one time, and I accidentally fought the first fucking dude that was supposed to like lead me somewhere.
Yeah.
And it fucked up my whole entire game. And I was like, whatever. I'm really good at fucking up a game immediately when I started and then just bailing.
Get it out of the way at the beginning.
I'm really bad about that too. I'll just make a horribly built character for the game.
I want him to have everything.
No, it's like
that's what I do.
It's like in Fallout New Vegas. I'm like, well, I'm going to do energy weapons in Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah.
That's a fucking mistake for anybody that wants to do that.
I never
but
do.
That's been classic in the past. That's a good way to go, the past.
But Fallout 3, energy weapons is a great path to go down. You know, for Oblivion, the first time I played it, I was like, well, I'm going to do some hack and slash. You know, I'm just good axes or whatever. No. That is not my style of play, apparently. So I went kind of a night, battle mage, and then
I always go spell sword, and I feel like such a chump because like I want to do everything, but I'm never like super great at anything.
Yeah,
because I can do everything.
And then I went kind of full mage until I maxed out my conjuring and destruction, and now I'm doing like archery and kind of shit to get more levels. So it's just. There's so much to do on it, and it's such a blast. So, yeah, I'm still playing fucking Skyrim.
Well, I mean, but I tend to avoid open world games just because of they annoy me sometimes, and the time crunch because of how expansive they are. It's like just give me the story, but like Spider-Man and more so Skyrim, just because it's I feel a proper open world game, they can just hook you. And you want to be in that world every day.
You're walking along your quest line and going to this new place, and it's like, oh, fucking shiny thing. There's a undiscovered place over there. There might be something cool there. Let's stop here. And I've blown 4 hours before I know it.
Yeah.
No, it's easy to do on that fucking game.
No,
I was saying it's like I want to do this mission, and then but I need to skin this. Oh shit! Now I've skinned this. I got to go to the tanner now and get them to make something out of it. And then by the time I've rode my ass all the way to the end, I gotta go back to the mission, and I find a bunch of shit on the way to do there.
It's like, oh man, look at that! Yeah. Exactly.
Fun.
It's fucking shiny thing syndrome, and I'm horrible in that.
I went to go do a quest, and I found myself hip deep in the water knifing an alligator while my horse is running around going, alligators, because they're terrified of them. And you gotta like grab them like, hey, calm down, buddy. It's gonna be a
whoa, girl. You guys, whoa, girl.
It sounds like a bit too much in that game.
It really does.
It's so beautiful. All right, is that it?
If I want to live my fucking life, I don't want to do it on a damn video game.
It's not as bad as
get a job.
Animal Crossing or anything.
That's it. That's all I've got this week.
All right, let's move on.
Monday morning, listen to my podcast. Always trying to save the best for last. Hey, there's Ray. The big bag of news. Big old bag of news. He knows what time it is. It's Ray with the news. Here we go. Ray with the news. Ray with the news. Marvel, DC, Star Wars is Ray with the news. Sometimes video game news, as long as you stay on his ass. But here he stands, Ray with the news. Ray, give us the news.
All right, so we got a bunch of news this week. First off, kind of a weird thing. We have Tumblr, the huge blogging
I'm surprised you put this out there.
Is going to ban all adult content starting on December 17th.
Yeah.
This is a pretty big deal for them.
Well, did you read why though? So apparently, I did not know this until like when it was coming up because I haven't thought about Tumblr in years. It was a really dark reason. So apparently, Tumblr was a big haven for child porn,
Yeah.
And Tumblr wasn't doing anything to really address it because Tumblr is mainly known for people that I know to use Tumblr is mostly porn. It's a very sexual, I mean, they have other stuff, but a lot of gifs of porn. But I guess it was really easy for them to sneak in like child stuff, which is fucking disgustingly dark.
Yeah.
And Tumblr, I guess, wasn't addressing it like they should, and they got a bunch of backlash. So now they're just going, all right, you know what? None. There's just nothing. Which I'm just curious to. I mean, obviously it'll be possible. That kind of stuff
has to be really difficult to police on such a massive website, and if you're allowing sexual content. Like there's no way to visually. I think you have to have someone go through.
You have to rely on people to flag it.
Yeah, you have to rely on people to flag it. And honestly, I mean, if you're using proxies and everything, it's going to be hard to find the people who are posting this. And then if their Tumblr gets shut down, they just make another one.
And I guess where my curiosity comes, and I guess it'll be the same as Instagram, is like, Instagram has a no nudity policy, no sexual stuff, and it just they rely on the community of people to flag it. So they'll rely on people snitching on each other.
Yeah.
But I was very surprised when I read that, actually. But then once I read the reason why, I was like, okay, that makes sense. I mean, at least they're doing something responsible.
Yeah. I think it's kind of a throwing the baby out with the bathwater sort of solution, honestly.
But I guess
they
it's
could
like
do a better job of doing their jobs and keep everything going the way it is.
They could, but it's like anything else.
Well, it's something like 50% or 60%, something like that, of Tumblr is this adult content.
Yeah, it's most. I mean, I'm not joking. Most people I know use it for.
That's all I've heard of it for. That's why I don't have.
When I got on Tumblr,
I knew it for a lot of other reasons. I didn't know
everything I've heard of it is but that was from working in cell phones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
See, I had Tumblr.
This is what this app is for. I'm like, okay, so I know not to go into that app for somebody.
I go into that for it, but
no.
When I got Tumblr,
that's all our nerds who get laid Tumblr is just dick pics of us.
But when I first heard of it, like you could find amazing like fan art. There was so much really cool stuff.
We class it up. We put wigs on them and everything else, and googly eyes.
They're usually like laying on a 1/6 Victorian couch that TJ was able to pick up off eBay.
Had a Tumblr with just tons of nudes, apparently.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
man,
pretty
and
common.
There's nothing wrong with that.
She showed it to me. It wasn't like she was hiding it.
Hey,
I have this.
Porn is a natural thing. It's okay if you look at it. Fucking, that's cool. It's the kiddie stuff that makes it the dark stuff. And I agree with Ray. It's like they're going so hardcore, but who knows how bad it is? Where it must be pretty bad if they're going, you know what? Let's just get rid of it, because that's 60% of their. That's going to be their ad revenue. They're
I don't
throwing
know if
out.
that's 100% the actual, but it's a high number.
No, that seems very believable.
Believe it.
Yeah,
I can honestly believe it just from what I've heard.
Because getting rid of that's going to hurt their bottom line. I mean,
but I know there's a lot of other people that use it like as legitimate blogs and stuff like Jay and Miles that I talk about explain the X-Men. Their website is a Tumblr because it's very it's a very easy to like do what you want on it, like do the changes and stuff. Which is good for people who are not super computer literate, can't program, can't do HTML, can't do all this other stuff. And I know there's a lot of other reasons people use it. I didn't realize that it was. Obviously, I knew there was a lot of porn on there, but I didn't know it was like that much of it was was what Tumblr did.
I think it's like for a lot of people, like you take a look at like Instagram's a very popular thing. A lot of people like Instagram because it's such a mix of if the friends and family, but also just so many cool artists, stills from movies, and then also a more sexual side. Well, Tumblr is like you can get all that and more. Yeah. So I'm sure there's plenty of people that have their feed that's a mixture of Marvel, DC, but then there's some titties. It's all just mixed in there.
And it could be a matter.
I love Reddit.
It could be a matter of too. That Mike was talking about. He had an ex that had a bunch of nudes on there and stuff like that. It could be teenage girls putting their nudes up on there, and it's not. They're not exactly doing porn per se,
but it's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
But it's. It's the same thing. If a 17-year-old sends her nudes to a 17-year-old kid,
that's still child pornography.
No, absolutely, yeah.
And the other 17-year-old kid that gets those pictures
just as guilty
can be like try it as like a sexual whatever that
Predator.
is.
Yeah.
Under those laws. So yeah, a lot of that stuff is dangerous.
I get it. You can't. I mean, and a lot of times you can't draw that line just by a picture. Going, okay, that's that. That's that.
Yeah.
So I can totally understand the baby with the bathwater on this.
It's even going the other way. Can you tell how old a wiener is? You know?
Depends on how
Can
many.
you tell how old a
many
vagina
rings?
is?
You got to cut it in
Sometimes.
half and count the rings.
When there's the dust,
That's true.
When there's the dust that you're brushing off of
Yeah,
it, I
yeah,
guess
yeah.
you can. But
Tumblr Endgame.
Yeah.
yeah, I can see why they would do it logistically.
I honestly can't because that's most of their users. That feels like that's like shooting yourself in the foot.
Well, they're doing it.
They are doing it, yeah. So we'll see what happens on December 17th after that, because there are a lot of artists that do stuff on there
Well, they'll put
that's not safe for work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess like we will see. Like
All the erotica and stuff though is going to stay.
a year from now, we'll be like Tumblr because they just died off.
Yeah.
I've never used any Tumblr.
When it
Me
first
neither.
came out, I used it a lot.
Did you really? Okay.
Yeah, I had a Tumblr. Like I said, I used it because there was so much content, not just like you said, nudes and stuff. There was just a lot of really good content.
Yeah,
But
because there's a lot of artists on there.
but
and stuff
it really did slowly just become more adult themed for things.
Yeah.
Like most people kind of like went to different. Instagram became really big, and I think that's where most people moved.
Well, and then there's the other. What's the one that artists actually do stuff on? DeviantArt, yeah, and stuff like that. So you have all that stuff. There's other things out there, but that's the thing. That's why I feel like it's shooting themselves in the foot because there's other things out there.
Yep.
So people can't do this. Well, they can go to all this other stuff.
They could also do here's Tumblr Premium, and you can put your nudes back on here or whatever.
Maybe.
I mean, you
Yeah,
never
because
know.
then there's at least a money trail and stuff for.
And then you've got a age gateway by you have to be 18 to have a credit card, and
Yeah.
there you go.
Yep.
So, I mean,
We'll see what happens
There's
with it.
ways for people to get around it.
I think
if
this
they
is a
want
death
to.
rattle for Tumblr. Honestly,
Yeah, just go to Reddit.
so, Game of the Year 2018,
Yeah, the
God of War.
from the Game Awards. This is the industry video game awards. So it's a surprising one.
Is it?
To me, yeah.
I wasn't that surprised.
You play God of War?
I didn't, but a lot of people did. And people fucking loved that game when it came out.
Yeah,
For
I'm just
2 weeks.
I'm just thinking for like with Red Dead being out and Spider-Man being out and everything else. It was very tough competition this year for video games.
I guess once you said, I think it was something you said last night when we were talking about what Red Dead. Although, like I said, I love the game. Mechanics are wonky.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of so there's little things that like I love the game, but like it's not flawless. And with Spider-Man, I love that game. Thought it was great, but things got repetitive on missions, things like that.
Yeah,
And-
Spider-Man felt like as I beat it, right before I beat it, it was like, this is kind of.
I hope
This
not that I hope it's ending, but it's like
Yeah.
If it's not ending, I want something.
If I'm not doing
different.
the story, the main story, then it was getting very
Repetitive.
And we were kind of talking because, like, for me, God of War, I know the style of game it is. It's going to be a straightforward story. So, like, you're going to fall in there. You're going to be more tied into that game. So, if you have good controls and everything, it's probably a better experience all around.
yeah.
So when I heard when you put it into that perspective, I was like, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
If you're balancing it across the board, not just like great story, but great story, great graphics, great mechanics. Because I haven't played it, but I've heard that's also probably one of the most beautiful games.
Mhm.
It was,
And I've heard nothing but good things
yeah,
about that
I heard
story.
nothing negative about it. So
I haven't heard. I haven't heard
It's just
anything bad
not
about it.
anything that
It's just
I care about.
not what you would have expected. For me, as an immediate reaction, is not what I was expecting to see. And then once it's one of those things that once you look into it, though, you're like, oh, this makes perfect sense.
It was also released way earlier in the year,
Mhm.
and the
April.
hype now is Red Dead and Spider-Man. So, yeah, well,
But
Congrats, good job, guys.
yeah.
pick it up, check it out. Let us know what you think of it. If you played these other three games, let us know what you think should have
I'll
got
have to put God of War back in.
it. Mortal Kombat 11, we got a teaser for this. There's going to be some kind of secret reveal on January 17th, so stay glued to your computers if you're on Mortal Kombat. And I have. Am I going to understand the story if I've missed the last 9 of them, Chuck?
This is 11, so you're going. I don't know.
I thought they rebooted it at 10 or something like
What?
that.
I think it was 9.
9
8
or
or
10.
9, it was rebooted.
Yeah, they kind of started the story over, so you can ignore the previous stories.
Yeah.
So I'm only 3 behind.
Yeah, because like Liu Kang is
And it's
officially dead, but he's like a zombie spirit in a way.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Oh, he's dead
Zombie
again?
spirits.
Because I know they killed him in the original. Anyway, fighting game story is like
Now, I will say the story
Call of
mode.
Duty story. It just
Yeah.
it barely matters. It's just an excuse to go beat the shit out of whoever you're supposed to beat the shit
I
out
want to
of.
see the new graphics, the new fights, new fatalities.
Yeah.
And new,
Yeah.
that's what I go
But I will say
to.
the story mode for 10 and 9 were really good. Incorporating a story mode into a fighting game when it's normally just, hey, you pick your guy, I pick mine.
Yeah, it's Injustice. They did that with Injustice
NetherRealm.
as well.
So,
Chuck is pretty much our resident fighter game person, but
Okay.
do any of y'all others
I've-
still play Mortal Kombat?
I bought the last one, and I
Okay.
don't think I ever actually put it in and play it. Because I've loved Mortal Kombat since it came out.
Oh yeah.
And I'll miss them. Like,
I remember having it on my Game Gear.
Yeah, I'll skip them all the time when they come out, but because I won't pay $60 for a fighter, I don't
No,
think they're
God,
worth
no.
it.
They are not.
But a year from now, when it's $20, I'll absolutely buy it. Because I do enjoy them. They're a lot more fun when I can play with friends. Because online, I'm
a
not.
joke.
I'm gonna get my
Online's a
ass
joke.
whooped.
Mm-hmm.
With Mortal Kombat, I've always liked the stories. Like, even though it's never been amazing, I always like the lore more, that what they would build up. But this looks really cool. Like, I mean, it's kind of hard to
teaser,
gauge because that's all just like cutscene material you're seeing there.
I feel like fighting games online are kind of defeats the purpose of them. A fighting game is a
couch game
where your buddy should be right next to you.
I 100% agree. Now, I could see if I had friends, like, if like you guys are like, hey, I'm getting on, like, we could play together. I'd rather play with you in person so we can talk shit to each other.
Yeah.
But playing against strangers,
shit, and
I just
used to be like unplugged controllers.
Yes.
And people fucking left the room.
turn your
or-
Wi-Fi off now.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like I said, I'm not excited about the Mortal Kombat game. It's one of the things when it comes out. If Chuck buys it, I'd be like, yeah, man, like, bring it over. We'll play it. You know. I'm gonna say it, and Chuck disagrees, but I think from the way that they did this little teaser, I think that the end of each, like, your Mortal Kombat's usually 2 rounds, you fatality the end of each round. That's just gonna be my guess. And then maybe you have a mega fatality when you win the overall fight. Because kind of like how Injustice does is they didn't do fatalities, but they
Or like
do the
alternate
power-ups.
fatalities.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a specific fatality you do, and then you have an alternate ones you can do at the end if you know all them super codes.
Because I will say, like, they are very creative with the way they dismember bodies.
Yeah.
in combat. I always give my thumbs up for the craziness.
We also, moving on, found out that we got a trailer for a Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, The Black Order. It's going to be on the Switch and only on the Switch. It's a Switch exclusive in 2019. It's been a long time since we've had an Ultimate Alliance.
Around 10 years.
Around 10 years. So this is getting into like Kingdom Hearts territory.
Yeah.
But
the last Kingdom Hearts was good.
So, what are y'all's thoughts on this Ultimate Alliance? How many of y'all actually played either of them, the Ultimate Alliance 1 or 2? I know I played at least 1. I thought I played 2, but we were talking about it in
2 is
now. I'm not even sure.
Ultimate Alliance 2 was the Civil War, was based on the Civil War storyline.
I played a little bit of 2 because I remember when I tried to put a cheat code in and I couldn't save. Remember that, but I love the style of the games.
Yeah, I've
from
played
1,
this,
2, and the X-Men Legends.
Yeah, I've played the series of games since they started with X-Men Legends #1. I think they're a lot of fun. They're dungeon crawler type games where you have 4 characters. You can switch between different 4 characters if you want, or if you have 3 buddies come around, they can plug up controllers and go with you on these. The last one was very lackluster, especially compared to the story and everything that you could do in Ultimate Alliance 1. I think the graphics in this are kind of
Nintendo.
dated.
Yeah. They're very comic booky looking.
You know what?
Cell
the
shaded
Switch
comic.
can handle a lot better than what that is.
What is the game that you buy the little figures and you put them on to play them?
Yeah,
Meebos?
No,
the Skylanders
Skylanders,
or
there's
Disney Infinity, and
That's kind of what the graphics remind me of. That.
yes, yeah, I'll agree with you on
Because
that.
after thinking, because when I saw it, I automatically didn't like it from the second trailer start. I was like, I don't like the way they're doing that graphically.
Yeah,
And then I was like, it looks just like those character designs.
yeah, it looks very comic booky. Not. Yeah, it looks a lot like a
Like kid
comic, but
comic.
not like a good comic.
Yes.
Yeah, like like the comic that's based on the TV show.
Or
Yes.
the comic you get in a cereal box.
Yeah.
It's always
Mhm.
the lower grade artist.
Yeah, I think it's a step up from Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, which was kind of that over realistic costuming that they did.
Yeah.
To me, still the best one's Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1. Doctor Doom, they had I think it was Vicarious Visions doing the no, it was Blur was doing the storyline graphics and everything, and that Nathan brought it up earlier, and those still are amazing to watch.
Yeah.
So,
I remember when I first started playing it, like my roommates, they just watched me play the entire game because the splits, like those split scenes, were so amazing.
yeah, those were incredible. There's one with Doctor Doom had beat the shit out of everybody.
Yeah.
And he's got the fucking Odin Force, and it's just
Yes.
it was badass.
I like near the middle of the game. I actually wasn't necessarily enjoying the gameplay, but I was like, I wanted to see the
See what
story
happens.
progress.
Yeah.
So I just fucking powered through to see what the cuts like.
What happened
nowadays?
next?
You just go on YouTube and you just could watch it all cut together. but
Exactly. But and that it's definitely a game series where you got to have some friends. I think it's a good move to be on the Switch. I wish the graphics were a little better, and I'm really kind of tired of Thanos and the Black Order being the villains on every fucking thing now.
Are they the villains on everything?
Yes.
Black Order.
Yeah, it's Black
Yeah,
Order.
I mean,
What have the Black Order been in? I mean, Thanos always. Thanos forever has been like that. Like he's the ultimate like. And if you're in middle school and you're like, oh well, I'm gonna
kids
pick Thanos.
cartoons and stuff like that. They're just all over the place, and it's just like
And the comics.
there's more out
Ooh,
there
Thanos so
than
hot
this.
right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's more out there than this.
Better.
Let's see some other villains and
No, you get fucking Thanos.
yeah. The Black Order, I feel like, is a lot more like I don't know. They haven't been exploited for dozens and dozens of years.
No, but
where-
it's like it feels like they are everywhere right now.
yeah, right now they are.
Mhm.
Like Nathan said, they're so hot right now.
So hot.
Moving on. Ooh,
So
gosh.
I want to touch the hiney.
Fallout. Bethesda.
Billy Madison paying off again, man.
I'm sorry I can't hear you. I've been abused in the ear.
So Bethesda's support leaked out some customer names, addresses, and phone numbers.
Oh, yeah,
there
I
was
heard
a
about
glitch
this.
on their website recently. Can things get worse?
Yes,
for
they
them?
can.
Oh,
They
absolutely.
can get worse.
It seems like everything they do is fucking up lately. Like, how the mighty have fallen.
They need a Sky or an Elder Scrolls 6 trailer out like tomorrow.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it better look good.
Worried about Doom Eternal coming out. Like, hurry up! Hurry for this ship sinks.
Yeah, for real. What were you gonna say?
I think some of the things that are issues shouldn't have been as big of issues if you really had thought about
This is
it beforehand.
almost all been customer support kind of things.
The
Customer support has been shitty.
The customer support responses have been fucking terrible.
Yeah.
All of those guys should have been fired, and if they had a firm hired that was supposed to handle this stuff,
Yeah.
those guys, that firm should be out of business now.
But do you describe how the leak or the information was getting out?
There was a
These were the people that had
Like if
put
I
in their complaints.
tickets and
Yeah.
everything.
So I could see if I put a complaint in, I could see if you put a complaint in, someone in fucking Washington, fucking Japan,
and
I have their information in front of me.
And the way I read it, and this may or may not be true, it was the way it read, though. It seemed like customers could also open and close tickets willy-nilly, so I could just go in
seeing that.
and close out a bunch of tickets and everything.
I didn't read that
I
far.
don't want
Yeah.
mine to be done immediately, so I want to close all these tickets ahead
exactly.
of time.
That's what it looked like. I'm not
That's
100% sure that that's the way it worked.
That's how it
but
read.
from working with those kind of programs and stuff, that's how it read. Yeah, that's how it seemed.
Pretty
So-
much
Oh
like
my
they
God.
don't give a shit.
Well,
That was
was
a tech error somewhere.
that wasn't. Yeah, that was an accident. That wasn't something they want to have happen at all.
Mm-mm.
That wasn't we did this bag and that's what you're getting and we don't care.
We put out this shit
Yeah.
game. It first
Yeah.
started with that shit game, then the backlash from the bag, and now this. It's just snowballing on Bethesda
Absolutely.
right
I don't
now.
think it's as much of a shit game as people put a higher expectation on it. It's like it's all like almost everything nowadays is they put such a high expectation on it on this game. It's like their track record, what you're going to get from this thing.
But Bethesda is like one of the tops.
But they have a history
They do of being buggy.
of
Fanboys put it like that.
it's a history of they'll run an engine into the ground. Like Chuck's truck. No, they'll just run this fucking thing into the ground.
Ouch, TJ.
Before they'll do anything about it, and I don't know what people were expecting. And the bag thing, yes, I agree. The bag thing was kind of shitty.
That was
if
just
you're being
shit.
advertised, this is what you're getting, and then you get the bait and switch, and then it's like, well, it was too expensive. Fuck y'all.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry,
We don't
bro.
plan on doing anything about it.
That was very shitty.
Yeah, that was someone
Yeah,
needed to choose their words a lot.
that was
Carefuler.
that was some stuff. Is when you made the prototype and you found out that information's like, let's tell our customers now, hey,
Product may vary.
yeah, we're gonna you throw the product may vary,
Very fine print at the bottom of the
fine
picture.
print on there all the time. You see it on prototypes, and then
Yeah.
you go, before it comes out, hey, you know what? We had to replace the bag, but here's some extra in-game stuff. Not a $5 fucking replacement bag, but here's some extra weapons or something for you. Are dedicated,
Yeah, because
limited edition support our customers.
that's the thing. Those are the customers that you're going to keep for a while.
Yeah.
They're going to buy things for a while, and then you just fuck them over hard.
But
So-
even the ones that
You
get
tell them,
fucked over hard,
no,
they're coming back for the next
we're
game.
not using lube, and you're going to like it.
Yeah. Moving on, we have some TV stuff where you talking about. American Gods is finally coming back. Season 2 is coming out sometime, but we got a teaser for it. And how many of y'all who all watched American Gods
I have
season
not.
1?
I need to watch it.
I
But
did.
Okay,
I
so
have not.
That'll
me
run
and Nathan
stars.
are the only ones. Okay. It was excellent. Season 1 is excellent. I don't know if it's on anything that you can watch it.
Stars,
Probably
Showtime,
Stars
or
on
Stars,
demand.
whatever. Yeah, Stars.
yeah.
That'd be it.
It's not on like Hulu or anything like that. I don't even
Well,
remember.
like Hulu. I mean, Hulu has their partners with Stars. You can add that on for like $8 or whatever.
Yeah,
I think Amazon has the same
Amazon
Same with
has
Amazon.
same. That's how I
'Cause
watched
that's how
it.
I watched it. Yeah.
Because I'll just say a lot of times you can do a month for free and then watch these shows in 1 month and then cancel.
Yeah. Season 2 looks great.
It does. I need to rewatch the first season again because it's been way over a year now, and I need to kind of remember what I remember, like bits and pieces in the overarching story, but there was a few things I was like, okay, I think I remember that character, but I can't exactly remember what was going on at the end.
Yeah, it just looks confusing. to me.
Especially being what's his? I can't remember his name. Is it Wednesday?
Yep.
Mr. Wednesday.
Mr.
Yeah.
Wednesday. He turned out to be Odin.
I
At
don't
the
know
end.
if that's
that,
even.
that was his old god at
Oh,
the very end of the season. He was like, I was the god, and he had because he had a crow the whole time.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I just was missing those little things.
Yeah, that's what I thought that they were pointing towards and everything. It premiered in April 2017, so it's coming out 2019. So this is going to be close to 2 years.
Yeah.
that we've waited for this.
It's a bit of a stretch for a first season.
Yeah,
I get
absolutely.
Game of Thrones can do it now because they're like 8 seasons in. But hey, if they're putting the quality that the first season was, I'm all for it. I can wait for something amazing.
And some of the people behind it have changed, so we'll see if that affects everything. But from the teaser, looked right on par with season 1.
The quality of what they showed looked the same as the quality of the things I'd seen
because
before.
Man, the story was just starting to rock and roll at the end of season 1, because it's kind of a slow burn show.
No, absolutely.
You're meeting all these different, because there's a lot of different characters that you're getting introduced, and at the end of that last couple of episodes, it's starting to go, and you're just like, God damn it! Now here we are 2 years later.
Yeah,
it's like at least we're getting another season. I'll give them that.
Yeah. Because I was worried about that when they started having all this trouble, but it was the first season was so excellent. I'm glad we're getting a second.
Yeah,
and I hope this one continues on because I think it could be really, really great. Brian K. Vaughan, the author of such great things as Saga, which is a hugely critically acclaimed comic book.
Why the Last Man?
Why the Last Man? That's getting a show. He
allegedly.
Supposedly.
He just signed a deal with Legendary TV stuff for 3 years. So he's got some other stuff that are available. Saga, of course, is the big one, but he's always said that will never be a TV show or a movie. I mean, we'll see now. Paper Girls is another thing that's big. And this is one of my favorites that I've read. It was a miniseries called We Stand on Guard that is essentially Canada decided to invade America. And it did.
Eh?
And, yeah. And so it's everything after that. So
they just opened a bunch of barrels of maple syrup and drowned it.
The Mounties picked it free.
I would honestly say Brian K. Vaughan is one of the best current writers in comic books today.
Agree.
He's up there. Of course, Runaways was his thing, the original Runaways. Mm-hmm. So I believe he's an executive producer or something on that show.
I think I'm pretty sure he is.
Yeah, but he is excellent. And like I said, Saga is it's definitely the best top comic outside of Marvel and DC, with maybe only Walking Dead competing with it. It is an incredible thing. So I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out of this TV deal to see what can come down the road.
You really think we'd get Saga?
I don't.
Yeah,
I honestly
don't think so.
I think the budget on that would be so large because it's such a space opera. Mm-hmm. Huge stuff. There would be so much special effects involved in it. Someone with big money would have to get behind that. And like you said, they specific the first scene of the comic is a TV head robot fucking someone. They did that kind of stuff, and he said this in interviews to prevent it from ever being a film or a TV show. So I don't know. He could go back on that and decide if the right person comes along that can make this a thing. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's stupid for someone like that to go back on saying something like that.
No,
if the right person comes along.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Get the right team up, go for it, man.
Because not only are you making money, but if you can expand what your piece of art was into something else, I think that's a cool thing. So we'll see what comes out of this. I'm excited because, like I said, Brian K. Vaughan's one of my favorite. I'm really excited about the Why the Last Man because that is a great series. So.
I never read it, but I've heard. I mean, people put it at top story when it comes compared to novels, everything on. And
it's definitely one of the comics that got me back into comics because I'd gotten out. I was doing band stuff and everything, so I didn't have as much time. I didn't go to comic shops as much, and I remember stopping in one in Tallahassee, Florida, and I picked up that day 2 of the DW Transformers, 3 or 4 issues of Why the Last Man, and a couple other probably X-Men stuff, honestly. And that's what kicked me off again to getting back into comics. So that story specifically, because it is incredible. If you've never had a chance to read it, go look it up, go find it. It is worth the read. Also, Saga. Saga's the best thing out there right now, probably.
Yeah.
You said space opera. You got me kind of hooked there, so I'll look into it.
No, Saga is incredible. Yeah.
If you want to borrow some, Katie's got
I think she has
everything from the
almost
beginning.
all
All the trades from the beginning
and it is
that have been released.
It's one of the ones Allison actually, when she worked at the library, rented it,
Wow.
checked it out from the library, and she ended up reading like the first two well before I did, because she was checking out like graphic novels for me and stuff over there, because we were like, oh, that's cool, let's read those. And she opened it up, and it was a TV head fucking someone, and she's like, well, I'm getting this one. And she loved it. So I think she read
like, Ray, I want you to take all the guts out of this old box TV
Wear this
and come
TV
in
for
bed.
me. 9 months later.
Yeah.
So
all the TV guts that are around.
So yeah, that's definitely a high recommendation on my list. Either one of those. Honestly, anything he touches is really good.
That's my dick.
CW. We were talking about the Elsworlds that's coming out. We got another kind of teaser thing. The 90s Flash. If any of you remember that.
Yes.
Okay, that was him. I wasn't just...
that was him.
He's been on the show. He plays as...
Jay Garrick.
Jay Garrick on the Flash show now.
What's the dude's name
unaware.
that played him? The Flash guy.
John Wesley Shipp.
That's it. John Wesley Shipp. So you have a battlefield of just like heroes look dead, whatever, dead or
A lot of
defeated.
helmets
A
knocked
lot of
off.
helmets.
Lot
Yeah,
of
like
helmets.
just you would think they'd be
it's
attached.
Earth 90, and they just never came up with the chin strap for
Yeah.
the helmets in
First
Earth
of all.
90. Yeah.
Mhm.
So a lot of that, you see the Flash in his original 90s Flash
Padded
costume.
spandex outfit.
Which looks...
It still looks good.
It still looks good. It looks awesome. He's crawling towards his book, and all of a sudden the monitor shows up, and it's like, oh fuck.
Mhm.
So, I haven't watched a lot of these CW shows in a while.
Me either.
This has me pretty. All of this stuff looks really fucking cool, though.
Yeah. I admit, I'm kind of intrigued.
but it's just a crossover. It's just like 3 episodes.
Yeah. It's
But
gonna be
still,
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying.
it's the idea of monitor,
kind of stuff ever
anti-monitor
happened.
is like one of those things. It's like I'm never going to see some shit like this on,
well, even
let alone a TV
Elsworlds
show.
stuff for DC stuff.
Yeah.
Elseworlds, like, we're never going to see that live action. Fuck that. That's never going to happen. That's like having a Marvel What If movie. That's never going to happen.
Oh, I would die if they did a Marvel
Yeah.
What If movie.
Yeah, and I mean, 10 years
I hope they
ago,
make one then.
10
Yeah.
years ago, it was an absolute, this will fucking never happen. I would bet my life on it. Now, it's like, this probably
Ray's not
won't
making that
happen.
bet anymore.
The fate of the Marvel films rests on Iron Man. If someone had told me that in the mid 90s,
yeah.
I'd have laughed at him.
Yeah, Iron Man was a C, maybe a C- character.
Yeah.
But yeah,
See you next Tuesday, character.
but now, we're getting Elseworld stories, and they're reviving the 90s Flash, which is awesome. I
that's very
remember
cool.
my parents, we would like rush home to make sure we saw that Flash.
Goddamn
Yeah.
car,
Get in the
Ray.
car. You ain't got time to buckle up.
We need to get home.
No, it was
In a
Hurry Up
Flash.
Jimmy Ray.
Yeah, Jimmy Ray.
There's a little Jimmy Ray then.
So yeah, speaking of all of this DC stuff, it looks like WB is looking at another hero to do another DC movie about, and it looks like they're looking at the very one Plastic Man.
I love Plastic Man.
Yeah,
He's just fucking ridiculous. And he is a fucking perv, too.
Oh, yeah.
So what's the difference between Plastic Man and Elongator Man?
That would be perfect for this
Is it
day
the same
and age.
person?
No, they're a different person.
No, similar power set, except Elongated Man is an actual detective.
Yeah.
Who's
and Plastic.
pervy?
No, Elongated Man's not pervy.
No,
He
Nah.
was kind of in Flash.
The Flash. Oh, I haven't seen that yet. Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
I
the
forgot
show?
he was in the show.
Yeah, he was
They
in
might
the
have-
show.
Adjusted his character
Okay.
because he's the guy that was married to Sue Dibney, and they
Yeah.
had that whole thing
Oh,
where
yeah.
Identity Crisis and all
Yeah.
that.
Plastic
Yeah, Ralph
Man
Dibney.
is the guy
He's red
makes
suit,
himself
right?
into fucking lingerie and
Yeah, he
and
made himself
shit.
into a dress that Wonder Woman was wearing one time.
Yeah,
And stuff like that, yeah.
that kind of
So
guy.
they're making this a movie? Is that what?
That's what they're saying.
That makes perfect sense. I guarantee they were like, you know what? Deadpool did really well. We got some stuff that we could make that's
and
very
like
over
Shazam
the top.
is like sort of moving in that direction.
Shazam seems like they're doing more family-friendly comedy.
yeah.
Or like, I think Plastic Man, they could go more to that like hard PG-13. Go, I don't know if they go R with it because I think that'd be going too far. But definitely more adult-themed humor.
Oh yeah, they're definitely going to go with the Mallrats joke. Mr. Fantastic when he stretched out, does his dong get bigger too?
Yeah.
That one's definitely
So
coming up.
it makes sense thinking from probably how they're looking at how they could market and do this type of movie.
Yeah, I can see it.
So we'll see what comes of that because a lot of this stuff gets leaked or whatever, and it doesn't ever come to fruition.
Yeah.
That's a weird one to me. I
Just
think
to see
Plastic
what
Man
the buzz-
also works better in more of a group thing, but not like Deadpool, like you said, Deadpool, because you have Colossus, you have a few
You got
other
some straight
characters.
guys to offset him.
So I think Plastic Man works better in a situation like that. So maybe having some other like lower end Justice League people and stuff like that in there.
Sounds like a prime place to plug in Booster Gold and Fire and Ice. and get a Justice League International
put
thing
him against
going.
like Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, Martian Manhunter would be great to throw in there.
Guy Gardner.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah, Justice League International. Just what I was saying.
Plastic Man, a lower tier character.
Yeah.
The newest thing that we're hearing from Marvel Studios is Shang Chi is possibly going to get a franchise of films. Shang Chi is sort of. I mean, someone said he's Iron Fist without the Iron Fist, and it's kind of close.
And not a white dude.
And not a white dude. Yes, that's probably the important thing. There also, he is known as the best, I guess, hand-to-hand combatant in the Marvel universe. He's trained a lot of people and everything.
So he's
That title gets flopped around a lot.
It does. It absolutely does. But he's just a karate expert, so I'm interested to see if this is something that they actually.
He's the master of kung fu.
I'm stand corrected. He is the master of kung fu. He is a kung fu expert.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with
Chuck
that.
you, Ray. I'm sorry, I had to chuck you.
Thank you.
No problem.
So now we come up to the big ones. This is the big ones from the news. Earlier in the week, we got the Captain Marvel, the second trailer.
Yeah.
And what do you guys think?
The second trailer, it wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
It's just a very run-of-the-mill trailer.
Yeah, it's very formulaic trailer.
I don't think
I was surprised it got a lot of hate.
That's the thing. I don't think it deserves the amount of hate that it got.
It's just like an Iron Man trailer or some other shit. I'm like, whatever.
It's the thing right now. I think it's the thing to just fucking shit
not
on
necessarily
everything.
The thing. It's just like, if you're not going to blow people's socks off, they're going to hate it. Because people still are amazed by stuff. But if you do a lackluster, or if you do that, go safe. When you go safe with things, people will pick it harder than, when you go hard.
Every Infinity War trailer was a safe trailer.
No, I remember the second trailer coming out on that,
The
and
Black
I felt
Panther trailers.
They
the
were
Black Panther trailers
amazing.
were no.
They had the Run the Jewels music. Like,
they were
people
good.
loved the Black Panther trailers.
I just remember a lot of
because they had the Run the Jewels.
CG doesn't look great. This doesn't.
No,
this is kind of
we
like
definitely
lackluster.
harped on that, but like people were going ape shit over. They loved the Black Panther trailer.
Yeah.
Infinity War, the first one with like the lines, like it had a very epicness to it.
Yes.
This has it doesn't feel epic.
No.
There's some cool stuff going on, but it's just, to me, it's a matter of a bunch of different things. The music is just your basic like
Marvel
like
cinematic.
but like it doesn't make it feel big. The moments of it just nothing stands out. It feels one note across the board.
I will say a lot of the shit that it's getting is people talking about Brie Larson not giving her a good performance. She's going to be shit in the movie. All this stuff. It's a less than 2 minute movie. We probably have less than a minute and a half of way less than that because she didn't speak much in the first trailer at all.
She says like maybe 5 lines.
Yeah, so I think that's bullshit. That's a fucking cop out. If people are like, "Oh, Brie Larson's horrible actress," look at this. That's bullshit. Like, and they're like, "Oh, she's not emotion. There's no emotion in this. It's the same emotion." I think all of that is bullshit.
Yeah.
I just felt like there was no.
She's
I
one-note
think
trailer.
I think the wow that they put in it was her binary form where she's all on flames, and that for me wasn't a wow. It might have been for people who don't know the character. I don't think it was though, because there's always got to be like a little thing that's a wow.
I guess it's like because when she's in that form, while it looks cool, I wasn't like, holy shit, that looks amazing.
Yeah,
there's a lot of it too that's going to be not in the movie.
Oh yeah,
I don't know about this movie.
I don't know. I think there's going to be things that we're not seeing yet, like Ragnarok.
Maybe.
Yeah, there were some things that we saw, but we didn't see Thor's fucking eye ripped out. You know, that type of shit.
True. That's true.
I don't know. I just think play it safe, put a safe trailer out, and let the movie do what it's supposed to do.
Because I was already hyped well before this trailer.
This is
this
still a
trailer
movie I'm
did
going to
not
see.
add any hype, is what I'm saying about what I feel about it.
See, I
don't feel like it was a bad trailer.
I'm not hyped about this movie. This movie I'll definitely go see. I'm like, I'm going into this movie expecting it to just be an okay movie. I guess that's where it looks like your standard Marvel movie. I'm not going in there thinking it's going to be like Infinity War epicness of amazement or Ragnarok, where it's like, you know, they just this new element of Marvel movies where it's like this great adventure comedy.
I'm
that
expecting
they went
this to be on the about same level as Doctor Strange. That's where I'm expecting this one to land.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
that's
that kind of sucks because that's a very
bet.
forgettable movie.
I liked the movie though.
It wasn't a bad movie.
It is forgettable.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's just like, to me, it's like, if you're doing these level of movies, like, I get it, like, it's a business, so you do more safe movies than the risk takers, but I like it better when they go hard and they take a risk, and because for Marvel lately, when they take those risks, it pays off.
It really does.
Mm-hmm. And then when they do movies like this, it kind of it makes people where they start talking about superhero fatigue and have we had enough?
Yeah.
Because you're doing the same thing they've already done 20 other times.
It looks like the plot's completely different than any other Marvel movie.
It's her. She's here on Earth, Nick Fury. She's an alien, probably trying to hide out. I mean,
I think
it looks
it's the
very
Kree Skrulls thing that's going to really throw this into a different level of stuff.
Yeah, I think there's things that are going to happen in this film
that are planting the seeds.
Oh, because to me it reeks of Thor 2 trailer with like the dark elves, like the way the Skrulls look.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that.
I think what could happen to this is, Age of Ultron suffered from a lot of, we're putting all this stuff in there because of the next films coming up.
Yeah.
And I think this could suffer from a lot of that.
See, I was hoping they weren't going to do that with the whole setting it in the 90s and kind of allowing themselves not to be restricted by like the current events.
Maybe.
And just let the movie kind of speak for itself, because when they were talking about this movie, I was really excited because I like the idea of having Marvel's first female superhero, and especially someone with so many powers and a cosmic, like across the board, like being that powerful.
Yeah.
Seems really fun. And then you get the trailer, and we've talked about this also, like with the Skrulls, I'm not that excited about them.
Oh, true. Yeah, you've said that.
I think they look cool, and I'm hoping I'm wrong, and they have a really good, because I feel like that should be a more cat and mouse movie where she's trying to find these, hidden amongst them, and craziness is going on.
And I think there may be a lot of that. I mean, it's hard to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again,
it's hard to base it off the trailer.
We've got like maybe 4 minutes of movie to pull all this from, so
the thing,
I'm definitely still hyped.
They just failed in a trailer of getting me excited.
It didn't excite me any more than I already was, and I think that's what it should have done.
Because now with the Skrulls and everything, I think the thing I'm going to take from it is all the Marvel movies now are going to be different. No, it's because if you see a character from one movie and then somebody else is acting differently, like Tony, how his attitude changes from 3 or Infinity, or how he changes, like how he got to Civil War.
Yeah.
it's like, okay, Tony was saying F you to the government here, and now he's like, yeah, I'm working for the government now. With the Skrulls,
there's a lot of character development with Tony, but that's
Yeah.
oh no, but it's like,
Well, and I think that's where
are
this is
these
going to
characters
start.
how they're going to be?
They try.
I feel like Doctor Strange is going to take over as the Iron Man persona in the films, and Captain Marvel is going to take over as the Captain America persona. We'll see. That's my little theory there. I don't. It's not the most fucking original theory ever, but that's how I feel like it's going to play out.
We'll see.
We'll see. So let's shift gears a little bit to the trailer we got a little bit later in this week, Avengers Endgame. So we finally got the title.
Mhm.
What are y'all's thoughts on this title?
That's what everybody was thinking it was going to be the whole time.
Yeah. I think this
Pretty
is one of the two that were
Latino
being thrown
news,
around.
thanks.
Yeah, because the other one was Annihilation.
What's the other one?
So, Avengers Endgame. This is another trailer that a lot of people, not a lot
Teaser.
of people are a teaser. A lot of people have been shitting on because like there's no action. I feel like this trailer did exactly what it needed to do, and it built fucking suspense
Yep.
in tons.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want, even for teaser or regular trailer, I don't want the movie shown to me.
No,
Mm-mm.
I think every part of this, take it how you want it. I think it worked.
yeah, and
Too much
and the,
Black Widow for me.
yeah,
I'm
Okay.
glad it's only 5 months, though.
yeah.
I'm glad we didn't have to spend 2 years of what is this?
Well,
what is the
yeah.
significance of
4.5
this? What is
months or
this?
something.
Or this? Well, I mean, since like
Because it got moved up.
from like
No.
Force Awakens to Last Jedi.
Because they filmed it back to back, so
So you
instead
got
of
all
making
this-
us wait, we're getting it.
yeah,
and then
we're getting it short.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
There's not all this
You're not
speculation of
picking
who's
apart
this.
each trailer.
Yeah.
Every
There-
shadow.
Yeah, exactly. So,
So let's pick apart every shadow in this
Yes.
trailer. I love the beginning part sets the entire mood.
mhm.
Tony has no hope left, and then you switch to Cap crying. Captain America fucking crying,
Yeah.
and also having no hope.
When
Yeah,
he shaved his beard, he is going to
yeah.
cry.
He shaved his beard.
he lost
Part of
both
why
of
he was
his.
crying.
He lost both of his best friends. You know,
They weren't that good of friends then.
they both dusted out on him.
Yeah. I was surprised that we didn't get any
The
War
whole
Machine.
man that he tore the Avengers apart for just
Yeah.
dusted right in front of his eyes.
We didn't get any War Machine. We didn't get any Sweet Rabbit, Rocket in there. So that's
No Star-Lord.
well, Star-Lord
Star-Lord's
died.
gone.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got
I forgot that.
one shot of Thor just
Yeah,
sitting in
just
a. It
sitting
looks like in
somewhere.
a cell.
Like Eminem.
Yeah,
Maybe.
as rap.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I wonder if
About
it's
the
in the
rap
cell,
battle
or
on
it could be, or it could be
Skitty,
just in like the
skitty.
hangar at that new Avengers place
Mhm.
or something. Nebula. It looks like she's on the Milano with Iron Man to
I think
me,
she
but
is.
It's just
a
a little silhouette.
Yeah,
It is her.
yeah.
it's definitely
no, I mean
her.
it was her.
But it's not the Milano. It's another ship.
It's got to be the Milano, I think.
I think
That was
it's
the Milano.
That's the profile that it had.
Yeah, that's the Milano.
the
All the
Milano.
other ships were destroyed.
Yeah, hers was wrecked.
Yeah, 'cause
when
she crashed into-
into Thanos, and then the one that Tony and them
The
came
flying
on
donut.
was wrecked. So
I think that I
Thanos is
personally-
doing some sweet gladiator walking through the field.
Yeah, he
letting the
is.
hand.
and he's fucked up because he's also limping.
He's
He
limping.
has a lame hand. His hand's completely lame.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Made
And
himself a little scarecrow.
Yeah,
Saw
well,
those goddamn crows.
we get the scarecrow, so he's probably farming.
Eat
I would
my
assume,
crops.
like in the Infinity Gauntlet, like that's an iconic.
What does that
scene.
say about your? Like, he's like, you know what's scary? Me. I'm gonna put me out there and scare things away.
You know what'll scare the crows away? Yeah.
My outfit, because God, it's tacky, honey. Look at all the gold.
My
Called fashion, sweetie.
my
You wouldn't
theory with
understand.
the that Captain America is back in the stealth suit at one point in this. I think that's either time travel or a flashback. I don't think that's
Look
current.
at Scarlet.
Okay,
Except for
but so
having the
when
black. It's
they
the
cut-
short
when
blonde.
they cut back to that, where he says that line of whatever, it's got to work because I don't know what I'll do.
It's still blonde hair.
It's still blonde hair
It's
from
still blonde
Infinity
hair,
War.
but you can only see his like shoulders. I think those are two separate scenes.
no, you can see some of the stripes
Yeah.
and the star from the
It is the
I think
stealth
stealth
suit.
suit. Yeah.
Because I noticed that, 'cause
I don't
every
think it was. It was like black and stuff. There weren't any stripes that I saw.
There's a little bit of stripes at the bottom of the screen.
Let's take some screenshots and up
Yeah.
the brightness, and let's get this figured out.
Figure this out.
It's no time travel. It's Natasha. She has the blonde hair from Infinity War.
I think there's time travel, and I think it's kind of, I don't know. I think there's time travel, and I think there's alternate universe shit that's going on.
I really hope that they just confuse the shit out of everybody with time travel.
Yes.
What? No. Who now? Oh,
Two Thanoses. What?
New York City.
They
Which
lied.
one of us is going to have sex with the other?
Oh my
gosh.
Cap, your hand's fading. You better play.
Oh gosh. So
I got this picture of me and Tony, and Tony's fading out.
I've only got his knees left.
Well, two
Cap.
Thanos.
We're gonna go back.
With the gauntlets could do double Dutch rudder. Yeah, okay.
what is the what was y'all's feelings about the teaser in general?
It worked.
I agree with Nathan.
I watched it
Great
about
Scott.
5 or 6 times.
Yeah, so
I've watched it about a dozen
really
times.
excited.
Yeah.
I hope it's nothing as lame as time travel.
I do too. I think that's kind of a cop out at this point.
Watched it
Well,
twice.
they're probably going to like, well, if we take the Quinjet and fly it the opposite way of the Earth
In 88
revolving,
miles an hour.
we could turn it back.
And
Get Cher to sing for us.
Oh god,
Yeah.
I would love if they just shit the fucking bed that bad.
Yeah, like it goes back to Thanos on the ship, at the very beginning, and they're like, Hulk, you can do it. Just do okay. Like he just pops the shit out of Thanos. Right
Or it goes
Finally
back to
believes in
like
himself.
somewhere else, and like Hawkeye just shoots him through the face with an arrow.
Didn't even
Or
mention.
Ant-Man crawls in his asshole and explodes him.
Now there is no canonical evidence in the MCU.
It's in his name, Thanos, Anus.
The thing that made me the most upset about this trailer was that one of the coolest parts of it is fucking Hawkeye, and I hate him.
Ronan.
Oh yeah,
Whatever.
Yeah.
He had that mall ninja sword. No,
Yeah.
thank you.
Oh, hey, what's it, Ronan?
Yeah, it's
Ronan.
Ronan.
You
That's,
couldn't
that's
have
what,
a
that's what he
regu-
goes by in that persona.
I mean, he's Hawkeye, guys. Come on.
Ronan.
You can keep saying that word as much as you want to
Ronan
until
guy.
until we watch that movie and he goes, "Call me Ronan now.
It's Hawk guy.
I'm Hawkeye."
Hawk guy.
The look in his
No more
eyes.
Mr. Hot Guy.
Yeah.
No more, Mr. Nice Guy.
But I mean, it's got me pumped. I'm pumped.
Great tone for that trailer.
Incredible tone. I wish to God, I know it'll never happen. I wish to God we wouldn't get anything else. I wish that would be all we would get. I know we're going to get more stuff, but I wish that was it. And I feel like the things they quote unquote spoiled in this are nothing. It's nothing. They spoiled things like Scott's out of the
Quantum realm.
Ronan survived the snap. Siri died in the snap.
She might just be missing.
Because
missing,
Scott
yeah.
is on that also.
Yeah. But
that?
they were all
Shuri is. There's a scene where Bruce is looking at these profiles going across the
they
screen.
didn't know where Scott was before. They knew where Sherry was. So they like she was in Wakanda, and they were all there. So
But Holland was on Titan and Banner's on Earth.
Well, they know he's missing. I'm saying Sherry was in Wakanda with everyone else, so they probably would have looked for her in Wakanda and didn't find her. So she's gone. I'm
She
fairly
was so
certain she's
sad
gone.
when her brother died
Yeah.
that she hid away and made Thanos killing gear.
So they don't spoil a ton in this. It's very little things, and it's good things, and I really like that. It just sets the tone of the film.
Yeah. You get a real hopeless vibe from it, which is what you're supposed to.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
how are they
Scott
gonna come
seemed
back?
pretty upbeat.
It is.
That was the turnaround when Scott showed up.
Hey, you
I'm
buzzed me
glad
in.
they had that.
I was
well, he probably doesn't know that everyone's dead.
Yeah.
because I
don't know.
I don't know. He
Everybody else,
I think he's got a good idea when he got out of the quantum realm.
and half the world is gone.
His girlfriend and her parents are all fucking
not
gone.
necessarily dead, just gone.
Where you guys going?
It's like you bailed on me when I'm in the fucking quantum.
Well, I mean, this
I'm
is
Bobby
the guy
Newport.
who regularly hangs out at
I've never worked for anything a day in my life. Sorry, Mark. Go on.
it was going to be a good joke too.
No, actually, it wasn't a joke. But I don't know. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Yeah, that end point. Oh, God, he's so good at just being himself, and it works so well for this character. Just the Ant-Man. Yeah, I know you remember Ant-Man. Can you buzz me in? God,
Got really big.
got really big. We met a couple of years ago. I got really big in an airport. Man, I love that. I love that. It was just enough of the. I think that was a good addition to that to like kind of lift
Kind of
things
brought
up.
some levity to the whole thing. Like, oh, there's going to be some hope.
A little bit of hope. So yeah, that was incredible. I'm looking forward to it, and it got moved up to April, which is great.
Yes.
I love this new trend of them moving their movies up a month.
How soon in the trailer cycle do you think we get Captain Marvel in the trailers?
After Captain Marvel comes out,
You think they'll wait until March to put her in the
if they put her in there at all?
in-game
Yeah,
trailers?
yeah,
I agree. I don't think she'll be in the trailers at all.
yeah.
That was the big
Now-
reveal.
Do y'all think there's going to be in the Infinity War? We got what I thought was a huge fucking surprise with Red Skull. Do y'all think there's going to be any kind of surprises in this one that no one's expecting?
Something.
I mean,
Bigger than
I would
Thanos?
think so. You can't show all your cards. You gotta have a couple things that the wow moments.
I was asking. I think the
don't-
signs for the next, what's coming next, will be in it.
In the film? Oh yeah,
At the end,
that
it'll
has to
be
be there. Do you think
next
any
goal.
of these scenes in this trailer are fake? Because
Yes.
we got fake trailer
Yes.
scenes in Infinity War.
We're like
Yes.
extra stuff that won't be in the movie.
Like when you
we
saw
got
the Hulk
when the Hulk
running
was
with
running with
everyone.
everyone.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
something.
there was actual fake stuff in there.
On this one, maybe not. Maybe on the other trailers, because some like bigger like scenes.
Yeah.
This seems like very smaller stuff where I don't think anything would be misleading.
Okay, all about tone.
Yeah, well, at least right now. When it comes to like the big ones where they probably start showing a lot of action, yeah, absolutely. They
Well,
probably
and,
do.
and that's part of my theory on the scene with Cap in the suit is that they've just changed her color of her hair so that you don't catch on. Oh, she's red there and blonde there. So anyway, we'll see. We're
she's
pretty.
just
I think
wearing a
we're all
wig.
pretty excited about or a wig. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's several fake scenes in the trailer.
Yeah.
Do you?
I'm just wondering why
I-
there's such an emphasis on Cap and Black Widow.
All
There's
that's
not
left.
much left.
Well, they probably got the most dialogue of all the terrible things that have happened at the beginning of the movie when they're setting the tone. So that's what they got to build a trailer around.
Yeah. All right. So with that, we have some sad passings. Larry Henning and Dynamite Kid.
Nobody
Chuck,
cares.
tell us about these. These were some
Fuck these two
wrestlers.
guys.
Larry the Axe Hennig, not
Boring.
much about his career I know of, but
Yeah, 'cause no
he's
one
the
cares.
father of the late Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig, WWE Hall of Famer, and grandfather of Curtis
shit.
Axel, who is the son of Kurt Hennig.
That's a big ass family tree you're drawing out there for us.
Now, Dynamite Kid was Tom Billington? No, Wellington. Pretty much his biggest claim to fame for people that have watched just WWE or WWF, he was one half of the tag team, the British Bulldogs, with David Boy Smith.
Oh yeah, I love the British Bulldogs.
He was a phenomenal athlete, but at that time in the 80s, it was just the roid era. It was just insane. Packed on a lot of muscle mass, and he's pretty much Chris Benoit in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
So if you any idea who Chris Benoit was, that was Dynamite Kid was the inspiration for Chris Benoit. And
So he killed his wife and kid, and
no, but he was very his style was very intense. Yeah, we always go there.
The easiest fish
But,
to shoot in a barrel, I guess.
His matches in the 70s with Tiger Mask in New Japan Pro Wrestling and the WWF shaped the cruiserweight and lightweight division and wrestling as a whole, because the stuff they were doing then is stuff that some people can't do now. And they were doing this back in like the late 70s, early 80s. But the steroids just completely destroyed his career. You can find clips on YouTube of what pretty much ended his career in the WWF. Literally, he did a basic technique. A guy did a drop down where he laid on the ground, and Dynamite Kid jumped over him, and as soon as he landed, crushed one of the vertebrae in his back just from the impact of hopping over a guy.
Oh, God.
And he had back surgery, and then after that, didn't do anything there, and then he kept trying to wrestle, and then he had a seizure in Japan. It was his second one, and he's like, yeah, done.
Goodness.
But very innovative for the business as a
Yeah,
whole.
fuck
So.
that guy.
Well,
Yeah.
we lost both those guys this week.
Yeah, fuck
Nathan's
those
just
guys.
wanting to be a dick tonight.
Well, no, I
trying to beat Charles from last week?
Yeah, for the sponge. Yeah,
SpongeBob.
Charles as he just shit all over
That
the
was
leg.
SpongeBob. That was different.
See, back to it.
Back to it. All right, well, that's it for the news, so we can go and come back. We got a couple of questions from the mailbag. So we'll be right back. All right, we've got 3 questions this week on the mailbag. First off, Allison asked, who's your favorite Muppet?
2 old men that complain.
Sam
100%.
Eagle, for me, is probably my favorite.
Yeah. Sam the Eagle's not bad either, but no, this is the 2 old dudes.
I like Meeker.
Oh, yeah. Classic. Chuck's probably the Swedish Chef.
No, I always like Bunsen and Beaker.
Okay. Wow. So, okay, we're pretty.
I feel like this is like
well.
a BuzzFeed question. Allison's going to judge our personality
Oh,
on
she
this.
is. She's going to probably shoot you in
When
the
does
face.
she not judge you?
That's true.
That's all she does. That's 24/7.
That's also true.
Judge
Will
Judy.
Bloodworth says, "What's the craziest Florida man story you have?"
Oh man, I meant
I know this guy drives a beat up purple Ranger.
He has a knife set and he sticks it up his dick every night.
There's actually 2 specifically from Lake City that I remember.
Okay.
One happened in the late 90s when they switched over from the when they switched to a new larger the bill itself wasn't larger, but it was a different looking $100 bill.
Gotcha.
And this guy had robbed a Bank of America not far from here when we had one, and he got all these $100 bills, a lot of the new ones, and he thought they were fake, so he threw them away.
Wow.
And then I also remember somebody robbing a hotel around here with an electric chainsaw.
Oh God, that's awesome.
With a cord visible.
Wasn't there one recently? Not recently, but within the last few years, of someone fighting an alligator in a convenience store? Wasn't that a thing? Am I making that up?
I think you're making that one up.
That sounds like Florida.
Yeah, I mean it probably.
I mean, that's not headline news, right? That's
Yeah,
Tuesday.
Okay.
all right. So
mine is an oldie but goodie.
okay.
The guy in Lakeland that got his penis stuck in the fucking swimming pool.
Oh yeah, I remember that. It was a hotel jacuzzi.
Yeah.
And like the fire department had to come and get him out and everything. I remember
Is the fire
that.
department
Yeah,
really equipped for something like
I
that?
lived
Jaws
in
life, baby.
I lived in Lakeland at the time. And that shit was just hilarious because it put his picture up and everything's like, yeah, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, what a peckerhead.
Hey! All right, that wasn't that funny, but
I enjoyed the reaction.
well, thank you. Jack says,
Jack Mehoff.
"Ho ho ho! 'Tis the season for stupid questions." Yeah, that's every season here. It seems like. What is your favorite nerd Christmas movie? And yes, Die Hard counts.
Well,
I mean,
obviously.
look at other episodes in the past
we've
5
we've
years.
already gone over this. I think.
Yeah. Gremlins. Them staying at.
Yeah, I'm a Die Hard guy, and me and Nathan will have to get in a fist fight after I say this outside. But
Well, is this
Charlie
specifically-
Brown Christmas every year, and the soundtrack to that is the only thing I want to listen to during
is this
Christmas.
nerd Christmas movies or like?
I don't know what
I don't understand
know what
his
a nerd
question.
Christmas movie would be. Honestly,
me neither.
I think Die Hard would be. Ernest Saves Christmas would be. Gremlins would be. What else would be a
I think
nerd
it's
Star
Christmas?
Wars
like
holiday
maybe
special.
Star Wars.
obsessive like that.
Maybe.
I don't know if it's an actual nerd.
I was thinking more Christmas.
I wish they made
Christmas
a Revenge of the
movies.
Nerds Christmas movie.
Wow. We should do our own Christmas movie, guys.
Nerds who get laid for Christmas.
Mike's penis grows 3 sizes. That's it.
Just intercut it with that.
From 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch.
Intercut it with that Michael Bolton movie they did not too long ago. The Valentine's special.
Day.
Fuck you for mentioning Michael Bolton.
That movie is fucking hilarious.
All those fudge packers are like Michael Bolton.
All right, well, that's it for the questions.
In and on office space quote. Yeah, guys, it's been fun. It's been real. It's not been real fun.
Oh, all right. We will see you next week.
All right.
Nerds Who Get Laid Sometimes is recorded at the illustrious Big Brown Record Town Studios in beautiful downtown Lake City. Episodes are published each Monday on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, and Google Play. You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/nerdswhogetlaid. We're at Nerds Who Get Laid on Twitter and Instagram. We're part of the Geeks Worldwide Podcast Network. You can find reviews and articles we write at thegww.com. We're also part of the Modest Pod Podcast Network. We're on FloridaGeekscene.com and also WeBeGeeksPC.com. Please subscribe, rate, and review us on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and Podbean. You can also check out the show notes for links about things we talked about in this episode. Thanks so much.
This has been a production of the GWW Radio Network. Please don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us on iTunes, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. Also, check out Geeks Worldwide at thegww.com for all the latest news, reviews, and opinions on video games, comics, movies, TV, cosplay, and more. Geeks Assemble!